Very good evening, friends. There is a small change in the program. Our chief guest, Mr. Rajendrabhai Shah, could not attend today's function because at 5 o'clock he was very sick and probably he was feeling that he has a COVID. So because it is not, everybody should not get affected, so he opted to remain absent today. But in his absentia, we have to respect his presence and absenteeism both. I'm happy to state that Mr. Padmin Buch, one of the very known personality in the field of IPR management skill, has immediately accepted my invitation at the last moment to be as today's chief guest. So, Mr. Padmin Buch, my friend Dr. Jainil Shah, who is a founder of Ultramarine Foods and today's panel discussions moderator, Professor S.P. Singh, Director, General Vice Chancellor of Kaushalya, the Skill University, Mr. Bikash Naik, Zonal Head of NSIC, Ahmedabad Zone, Mr. Pradeep Ojha, IEDS Joint Director and Head of Office of MSME-DFO, Ahmedabad and Jaipur, and Dr. Satya, Ranjan, Acharya, Director, Cradle at EDII, all my fellow governing council members of AMA, Mr. Unmesh Dikshit, Executive Director AMA, esteemed guest, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to you all and a warm welcome from Ahmedabad Management Association and Dr. Jaimin Vasa, AMA MSME Development Center for today's very important and wonderful topic, importance of empowering MSME through skill development and training. Your presence this evening reaffirms the shared commitment we hold towards building a stronger, more resilient MSME sector, one that is equipped to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and actively contribute to the economic fabric of our nation. Over the past 10 editions of this growth series, today is the 11th SME growth series by AMA, we have delved into a wide spectrum of relevant topics and themes from branding and finance to digital transformation, AI, lean manufacturing, exports, family business, and women entrepreneurship. Each session has brought together thought leaders and change makers, creating a robust platform for learning, networking, and progress. Today's session adds yet another vital layer of this our journey. The theme, importance of empowering MSMEs through skill development and also training. It is not only timely, but it is also essential in aligning this sector with the evolving demands of global competitiveness, technological innovation, and human capital enhancement. Micro, small, and medium enterprise, MSME, we all know about it, are the lifeblood of Indians' economy. They contribute significantly to GDP, generate employment across urban and rural landscapes, and also foster grassroots entrepreneurship. However, as the global business environment becomes increasingly competitive and technology driven, the traditional strengths of MSMEs are no longer sufficient on their own. Empowering MSMEs through skill development and training has become not just only important, but indispensable for their sustained growth and competitiveness. Friends, in this context, let me now briefly introduce the themes of today's seminar. Number one, addressing the skill gap. One of the most critical challenges faced by the MSMEs today is the shortage of skilled manpower. We all know. As industry evolve, the demand for new age skills such as data literacy, automation, digital marketing, sustainable practices, and customer experience management has grown. Unfortunately, many MSMEs struggle to find or retain talent with such competitiveness. Now, structured skill development program help bridge the gap, ensuring the MSMEs have access to a workforce that is aligned with current and future industry needs. Second theme of this particular program is enhancing the productivity and innovation. Friends, the well-trained employees are more efficient, adaptable, and innovative. Skill development fosters a culture of continuous improvement, enabling MSMEs to enhance operational productivity, reduce wastage, adopt better technologies, and improve quality standards. Training also encourages innovation as the skilled individuals are more likely to contribute creative ideas and solutions within the enterprise. Number three is enabling technology adoption. In the era of Industry 4.0, MSMEs must embrace digital transformation to remain relevant. However, a lack of technical know-how often acts as a barrier. Training in areas such as digital tools, automation, cloud computing, and cyber security empowers MSMEs to adopt and integrate technology more confidently, increasing their competitiveness in both domestic and international markets. The fourth theme is strengthening the entrepreneurial and leadership capacities. Now, skill development is not only for the employees but equally crucial for the entrepreneurs and MSME owners. Training in leadership, strategic thinking, financial management, and market expansion equips entrepreneurs to make informed decisions, scale sustainability, and navigate uncertainties with resilience. Next is facilitating access to market and finance. Now, this skill development, how it works? These skill development programs often include modules on financial literacy, business planning, compliance, and marketing. These are vital for MSMEs seeking to access government schemes, attract investment, or expand their customer base. So, the knowledgeable entrepreneurs are better positioned to build the credit worthiness, engage with the formal financing channels, and forge valuable partnership. And last is the promoting inclusive and sustainable growth. The last theme of this particular program is empowering MSMEs through training creates equitable opportunities for marginalized groups such as women, youth, and rural entrepreneurs to participate in and benefit from economic development. It also aligns with enterprise with the sustainable practices which are becoming essential in today's environmentally conscious market. So, dear friends, empowering MSMEs through skill development and training is not a short-term intervention. It is a strategic investment in the nation's economic future. A skilled workforce and a capable leadership can unlock the full potential of MSMEs, turning them into the engines of inclusive, innovative, and sustainable growth. To make this possible, collaborative efforts are needed from government institutions, academia, industry bodies, and training providers to design and deliver need-based industry-aligned and accessible skill development programs. Only then can we ensure that our MSMEs are not just surviving but thriving in the ever evolving global marketplace. Friends, as I told you, we are missing our today's chief guest Rajendrabhai Shah. He's a chairman of Harsha Engine Internationals, and he has 53 years experience in this particular industry spectrum. Today, because of his sudden illness, he is not joining, but I am happy to introduce our today's chief guest, Mr. Padmin Buch. Of course, he doesn't need any introduction, but as a part of my duty that he is expert, IPR expert. He is also a director in Troika Laboratories. He is a visiting faculty of many institutions, including Ahmedabad University, EDI, and also he was a MD of JITCO earlier. So he has a versatile knowledge, and he is, above all, he is my friend. And he is a real motivational speaker and has helped me all throughout my journey of MSMEs, right from Gujarat Chamber till AMA, and it continues. He is also the advisor of Dr. Jamin Vasa, MSME chair. Welcome, Padmin Bhai, and thanks for accepting my request. We have with us a very, very strong young moderator, Jainil Shah. He has awakened interest in the fields of business, sustainability, youth engagement, governance, education, and teaching. He is the founder of Ultimate Foods, which is one of the largest processors of raw cashew nuts in the Western India. So whenever you go out, you will find his cashew nuts as a gift. Which is one of the largest processors of raw cashew nuts in the Western India. And he is also the co-founder of Calcudex Global, which is into the advisory and knowledge processing domains. He holds a PhD in management from Gujarat University and bachelor's as well as the master's degree in commerce. Additionally, he has postgraduate diploma in finance and investment analysis. Mr. Shah is also the visiting faculties of many institutions. At a very young age, his profile is so big. Probably when he will be of my age, probably the whole book will be there for as his profile. He is also a routine speaker at a very corporate such HDFC, McCain Foods, Amul, Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors, Gujarat Tourism, and many more. And I am inviting now Jainil Shah to introduce our distinct panels. But before that, I would like to felicitate our chief guest, Mr. Padmin Buch, and also our moderator, Dr. Jainil Shah. So, I am inviting Jainil to take the mic from me and start the panel discussion and felicitate our expert panelists. Jainil.
So what we do is, I believe, sir, we have a quick introduction of the panelists and then have Padmin Bhai speak for a few minutes, and then we take the discussion forward. So, no, thank you so much. So thank you so much. Of course, always a pleasure hosting a session at AMA. Thank you, everyone, for turning up. And of course, it's an important discussion. Long back, I remember asking somebody, what is the real meaning of MSME? That was the time when I was not in industry. And a gentleman very gently said, "Ke beta MSME એટલે business no middle class." So the problem is they are not large enough to be relaxed, and they are not small enough to be ignored. So, just like your middle class is what keeps the country going, pays the maximum tax and bears the maximum brunt, I think MSME also contributes the same way to the economy, in the sense that they are 45% of your exports, some 11 crores of your employment, and 30% of your GDP. So, of course, Jaimin bhai, congratulations, sir. I must say, everybody has some kind of introduction, but Jaimin sir and his passion for MSME, I think it deserves a loud round of applause for the amount of contribution he has made to the cause of MSME. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick introduction of our panelists. We'll, of course, felicitate them, and then I will leave the stage for Padmin bhai to make his presentation, and then we move on to the panel discussion. Of course, at AMA, we tend by the time limits, so we should be on time to wrap up by 7:45. Of course, we are missing Rajendrabhai Shah sir, but an absolute legend. Would have been an honor to hear to him. But our best wishes to him and quick recovery for him for sure. But starting with Ojha sir, we have Mr. Pradeep Ojha with us. He's the Joint Director and Head of MSME-DFO Ahmedabad under the Ministry of MSME, Government of India. He's a mechanical engineer by qualification and holds a master's in industrial automation from BITS with over 20 years of experience in government. He brings more than 10 years of experience in Ministry of Defense, focusing on strategic production, plant modernization, lean manufacturing, and quality systems. Mr. Ojha over the years has worked and focused on EVs, green energy, exports, and defense indigenization through MSME support programs. I'll request our volunteers if we can get a quick token of felicitation. Yeah. All right, it's there. Jaimin bhai, if you can please felicitate Mr. Ojha, that would be quicker, sir. So thank you so much. I understand you are in dual responsibilities. You have Gujarat and Rajasthan, but you've taken time out to be with us. So thank you so much. Next to him, we have Mr. Bikash Chandra Naik. He holds a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from NIT Roorkela and an MBA in marketing from Symbiosis Pune. Began his career with Cone Elevators in 1995 and then joined National Small Industries Corporation in 1997. Mr. Naik holds 25 plus years of experience in key leadership roles such as business head at the Noida branch until 2011, then as the branch head at Delhi NCR and Pune branches. Since December 22, he is the Deputy General Manager and was appointed as the Zonal Head of NSIC Ahmedabad zone in 2025. Throughout his career, he has worked as a dedicated facilitator for the growth and support of MSMEs. Thank you so much, Mr. Naik, for joining us today evening. And once again, I request Jaimin sir, if you can please welcome Mr. Naik as well. Sir, I think it would be easier for me that way and little quicker. Next, we have two academicians with us. We start with Professor S.P. Singh. He's a Director General of the Kaushalya, the Skill University that's coming up by the government of Gujarat. I understand it's already operational, but we'll see a full-fledged version in some time. He is also a Fulbright Fellow. For those who are uninitiated, it's one of the most prestigious programs which is run by the US government, a Fulbright Fellow, and he's a seasoned academician with over 33 years of experience in teaching, research and academic leadership, including 23 years as head of institution and 10 years as vice chancellor of various universities. He holds a PhD in management along with degrees in geology, business management and law, and has qualified UGC NET in both earth sciences and management. Quite a versatile personality. He is also a national level sports person and has been working in the past with Amity University, Royal Global University Assam, Sherwood College of Management, and was also the global vice president of the Sun Moon University, South Korea, and was conferred as the Ambassador of Peace by the Universal Peace Foundation in 2021. A big round of applause for him as well. Thank you so much, and we'll have a quick round of felicitation. Jaimin sir, please. Dr. Singh, thank you so much. And finally, man from Ahmedabad and an institute that we all are very familiar with, Dr. Satya Ranjan Acharya is a professor and director of the Department of Entrepreneurship Education at EDI, a recipient of National Teachers Award in 2023. He holds a PhD in economics and Sambalpur University, along with MBA and MFC. With over 25 years of experience in teaching and consultancy, his expertise spans financial management, new enterprise creation, and business plan development. Dr. Acharya has received international training at Mashav, Israel, and in the Tennessee University of United States of America. He also heads the Cradle, which is a DST sponsored and Atal sponsored incubation center at EDI, and his strategic inputs have shaped government initiatives such as Gujarat Student Entrepreneurship Policy and Hastkala Setu Yojana. A very humble but a very dynamic man, Dr. Acharya. Thank you so much for being with us, and if we can have a round of felicitation. Jaimin sir, one final time. So thank you so much. As the moderator, I should have been the one felicitating, but I think the panelists have come on one call of Dr. Jaimin Vasa, and I think it was only appropriate for him to welcome and felicitate. But thank you so much once again. I think it's a wonderful room. The traffic is catching up, and we could see now, sir, the hall is full. So by the time we are done with the formalities as well. So Padmin sir, over to you. I mean, of course, your quick word note. You've been a man of intellectual property and skills. Look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Javin bhai, for considering me good enough to fill in the shoes of Raju bhai. Raju bhai, of course, is a very known senior friend, and of course we are missing him. But I will try to my job. Cricket માં 12મો પ્લેયર હોય ને 12મો 13મો 14મો પ્લેયર એ ત્રણે ત્રણ હું છું આજે. એટલે મેં સત્યાજીને કીધું કે તમારે પાણી જોઈએ તો કહેજો હું લાવી આપીશ કારણ કે દેટ ઇઝ ધ મેઇન જોબ એમ. પણ વી આર ઓલ ટુગેધર એઝ જમીનભાઈ છે વી હેવ બીન વર્કિંગ ટુગેધર ઇટ્સ ઓલવેઝ અ ટુ વે લર્નિંગ. અને સો વેન સમબડી લાઈક જમીનભાઈ એનીવે હું આવવાનો તો હતો જ પણ એમને કીધું એટલે પછી આવવાનું નક્કી જ કરી નાખ્યું. ઇટ ઇઝ સમથિંગ વિચ એન્ડ આઈ મસ્ટ કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ ડૉક્ટર જમીનભાઈને એ મેં કે સ્કિલ ડેવલપમેન્ટનો થીમ લીધો છે આ ઇમ્પેક્ટ સિરીઝમાં. ગુજરાતી જાણો છો ને બધા? હા, ના જાણતા તો કોણ ગુજરાતી કોણ જ જાણતું? થેન્ક યુ. એટલે વચ્ચે વચ્ચે ગુજરાતી બોલું તો વાંધો નહીં એમ એક્સપર્ટ છે ઇંગ્લિશમાં બોલશે બધા. પણ આઈ મસ્ટ કોમ્પ્લિમેન્ટ ડૉક્ટર જમીનભાઈ એ મેં દેટ ટુ ચૂઝ ધ સ્કિલ ડેવલપમેન્ટ વિચ ઇઝ રિયલી ધ મિસિંગ લિંક. જમીનભાઈ MSMEના ડોયન છે અને હી નોઝ વેર ધ શૂ પિંચીસ. જે આપણે કહે ને કે શૂઝ ક્યાં દુખે છે એ પિંચ ખબર પડે તો તમે એનો ઉપાય લાવી શકો. એન્ડ સ્કિલ gap is one of the major problem. What I will do is that we'll quickly, because Raju has been kind enough to prepare a presentation, we'll quickly go through the presentation, and that will be essentially Raju bhai's input. But I must tell one thing, something. આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં એક કહેવત છે, ભણેલો છે પણ ગણેલો નથી. Exactly, skill is that only. There is not to undermine the importance of education. Education is necessary. Skill is equally, if not more necessary, particularly for MSMEs. MSMEs cannot have a battery of professionals who are highly educated, but they can have a good team who are very well versed in the skill. And that's what the real theme is of today. And we are happy that the experts of this field are here for the panel discussion kind of thing. Knowledge and skill, as I just said, knowledge is important. Skill is also important. They cannot be replaced by each other. Okay. But yes, for MSMEs of a certain level, startups, MSMEs, skill starts with the skill set. Okay. Including the person who starts startup or entrepreneurship himself or herself. Skill is so important because as the next slide says by Raju bhai, machines don't run the factories, people do. વર્ષો પહેલાં આપણે પાકિસ્તાન જોડે વોર થયું હતું ત્યારે પાકિસ્તાન હેડ વન ઓફ ધ બેસ્ટ ઓફ ધ ફાઇટર પ્લેન્સ અને આપણી પાસે એક નેટ કરીને પ્લેન હતું નાનું પણ સોલિડ એન્ડ વી ઓવર પાવર્ડ ધોઝ high-tech aircrafts, because the people who are flying the jets, Indian nets, were much more skilled than anybody else. So knowledge is important, but skill is equally important. That is the message of today's workshop, to be said. Skill teams drive, as Javin Bhai rightly said, drives productivity, reduce errors, and leads to innovation. I am in the field of intellectual property rights since years together. Whether I am expert or not, that's besides the point. But I have been, in fact, IPR and patent are not only my profession, it is my passion also. I keep on telling people. And what is IPR, in particular patent? How do you get patent? You get a patent on an innovation which is useful. As a patent in definition, it should be new, non-obvious, and it should be applicable. Paper per no paper tigers. And the world goes by countries like Israel and Korea. Forget about Canada and USA. Countries like Israel and Korea, they are the right example. As a Korea is the size of Gujarat or Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh. And it is number 6 in innovation and number 9 in GDP index in the world level. And you must, people have gone to South Korea. I have been to South Korea a few times. You can see the skill there. People are hands-on. Hands-on. They know what to do, why to do, how to do it. And that's what is the requirement for MSME's success. That's why. So this is the reality in MSME. Talent and skill gap is a major challenge. 60% of Indian MSMEs lack skilled manpower as per the NSDC report. It's a very striking statistic, I must say that. And skill needed technical, soft problem solving and digital. The problem solving is the key part of it. Ultimately, MSMEs and startup, all of them know the importance and troubles faced by the MSMEs. When you start MSME, you have to keep on encountering problems and you have to keep on solving the problems. And that is where the skill lies a lot. So these are the basic benefits of skill development. I don't know to really, they are obvious. But the key part of is that workforce adaptability. By whom? By the person who starts the unit. Okay. The workforce has to adapt to the kind of unit which is because the startup or the enterprise has been started by a particular person and other people join. Are they able to adapt to that kind of what is required or not? That is the key part of it. How to develop skill practically. Now that is the key part of it. On the job training and dojo centers. On the job training, we know about it, on the job training. We have to, in fact, AMA is one of the continuing education center. We cannot sit, rest at, oh, humne itna kar diya, jaan gaye. Dojo is a Japanese concept. Dojo is a concept come from the martial art field of the Japan. Okay. Dojos ka meaning hota hai, it is not abbreviation, it's a Japanese word actually. So it is not that D aane mate chhe ne, O aane mate jo aane mate, એવું નથી. Dojo is a word, it's a Japanese word. The place where we meet. Japanese martham, if you see, the dojo means the place where we meet. After meeting what? We exchange the ideas, exchange the tips. When the guru of the martial art invite the disciples at a particular place and shares what they have to do, what they are lacking, what they are doing well, and where they can improve. Practical tips. So dojo is a concept which is a very, very important as far as MSME is concerned and need to be implemented by MSMEs kind of thing. Daily learning rituals, use of digital platform, so much necessary. Skill development. Again, in digital platform, we are conducting from Ahmedabad Association, we are also conducting program to make the MSMEs literate in digital dealings. Okay. We have done a series of program. There is one Amit Saluja, he comes here for that. Digital is also a skill. One cannot be masters of digital technology at this stage, but they can learn the digital technology. There is something, because there is no option otherwise. Kaizen culture, we know it's a continuous improvement. Collaboration with ITI and the skill centers. In fact, this is one gap which we really need to focus. ITI were started for that only, not IIT. ITI. ITI was a skill development center. They are supposed to be skill development center, and somehow or other, it is not that they are failure, but that could have been much better. So we need to refocus, revitalize ITIs, and of course, continuous dialogue is one of the key part of. Harsha Engineers has implemented Dojo at Harsha. I am not going into detail of that because Raju Bhai is the right person. But if somebody want to detail about it, one can share the details with that. But Raju Bhai has been to Japan several times. I know Raju Bhai well. He has been to Japan several times and he has taken pains to see that the dojo is implemented very well at the Harsha Engineers. Okay. Thank you so much. As Jamin Bhai said, Raju Bhai has offered and invited those who want to visit Harsha Engineers to understand more about dojo. Maybe something can be organized by AMA also. Like can be. I thank you very much. And of course, we must thank Raju Bhai also. We will see, but of course, one has to go with the prior appointment, one has to take the due concurrence, and one can go with the basic idea or question, and then he will be explaining, right? So that is the idea. You can approach AMA office for that, Mr. Unmesh Dixit for that, and I will tell Unmesh Bhai also. Okay, this is offer, and in future. In fact, I am a chairman of a committee in AMA which organizes such kind of visits. So maybe I will also take up that mind and we can organize a visit to Harsha Engineers specifically focusing on the dojo, right? So closing thought is make skill development a daily practice. That is a key part of it. It has to be culture. It is not to be celebrated for a week. कि एक साल में एक बार एक वीक सेलिब्रेट कर दिया स्किल डेवलपमेंट के लिए, then put on record and we are happy. No, just like quality, skill development is a continuous process. It's a culture. Once it is a part of the culture, automatically things will happen. That's the key part of it. Invest in people before machines. Yes. In the era of Industrial Revolution 4.0, in the era of AI or IoT or 3D printing, we cannot ignore people. It is the people who has invented AI and it is the people who are going to manage AI. Skill set is with the people and people in turn will make the machines more useful as compared to other people. A skilled workforce is ultimate competitive advantage. Countries, as I told you, countries like, forget about China. China is a country we love and hate both. One is a different level altogether. Countries like Israel and South Korea and some other countries also, including India and some part of it, it is the skill which is taking them forward much ahead and can take. So I think I stop that once again and thank you so much for inviting me to be. Chief guest is not a nomenclature I want today because I am a replacement person. But it is always a pleasure to talk to people who are come to understand about skill development. Because skill development is something which really need to do about it, kind of thing. Thank you so much and all the very best.
Thank you so much, Padmin sir, for those insightful comments. And I think handling Raju Bhai's presentation is no mean deal, but you've really done a good job and set the tone for the panel discussion. So without wasting any time, Ajay bhai, if I can request, we can just pull this off. We don't have any other presentation now, so it would be better for me. So thank you. We start with this questions. Of course, what we will do is at about 7:30, we will open the floor. We have the experts with us at 7:30. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them to our experts. And last 10-15 minutes is what we will try to ask. But my question, we start with Naik sab you because NSIC is what you handle and look after. You are a zonal head. So if you can briefly share the mission of National Small Industries and what it does to help on the skilling aspect. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, good evening everybody. I will very much thankful to Jamin Bhai to inviting me for this seminar. And in fact, I have joined NSIC, this Ahmedabad zone, on 1st of January. And this is the third program, I believe, I have been invited. And previously, my predecessor, Mr. P.K. Jha was here, and he was used to coming to this place. So basically, NSIC, it's a premier public sector undertaking under the Ministry of MSME, and it's the only public sector undertaking. And basically, we are taking over in 4 aspects. We basically give supports to the NSIC. It is on the basis of finances, then marketing, then technology and training. Very rightly said, this topic says skill development and training. So skill development and training, both the aspect we are taking care of. We have some NSIC technical service centers, and we have one in at Rajkot. And we also give some kind of training for all this, as rightly said, Padmin Bhai has said, that ITI, it is the backbone of that training and all that. Because we give some kind of training like that, electrician, turner, fitter and all that, CAD, CAM, and all sort kind of short-term trainings program we are giving. And also we are giving the certificates, and a lot of the students are going there, they are taking the training. And a lot of them are also getting the on-spot job also. Because we provide, we invite many companies to there for campus placement as well. And people are getting job over also there. And regarding the skill development, as very rightly said Padmin Bhai, because skill development, skill is, it's a continual process of learning. And we are lagging far behind in India. Because whatever we are taking as a the front runner of these any unit, we are taking as a labor, and labor they are not at all skilled. So we need to work on that front. All the labor whatever we are hiring, if we can give them some skill development program, we can engage them for some skill development, then our quality of the whatever the products or services, that will be improved. And as far as NSIC is concerned, we have some 8-9 technical centers where we are going on this kind of skill development center. Of course, it is for different items, we have different centers. For leather, we have one center in Chennai. For all kind of this general kind of electrical, computer science, electronics and all that, we have in Rajkot. In our head office, we have one incubation center as well. And it's a very good model. We have there more than 200 machines we have installed over there. And it is machines are of very low investment, up to investment up to 10 lakhs. We give generally training of 1 month to whoever the interested, those anybody from the rural areas or anybody want to set up his own enterprises. So there is 200 and more setups for say for socks machine sauce, that is soya sauce or tomato ketchup, or socks machine, or some kind of stitching for the women, and so this kind of so many nail making machines. So there is more than 200 that kind of setup is there, and one can go and also visit there. It's a 4 weeks course, and people go there, they take their training, they get some facilitation for the finances and all that.
So quick question. You said that a lot of training programs are
Yes,
available.
yes.
So what is the methodology of enrollment? Does the industry approach NSIC and then
we
along
have,
with its labor force, or the individual
There's in the website you will find their link. You can apply online.
Okay.
Also they give the advertisement in the newspaper as well. But of course it is now everything is online.
Okay.
So you can go to our website nsic.co.in and go to the NTSCs, and any NTSCs you can select.
Are the batches pre-decided, as in this is how the batches will run, or they are done on the demand base of the industry?
No, you can apply, because throughout the year it is going on.
It's an ongoing basis activity.
And it's a very short-term courses.
Okay.
So there's no issue that everybody will get a chance. Those who will, and the fees is also very nominal.
Understood. Wonderful, sir. So on that note, Ojha sir, we come to you. My question to you is, what are the parameters typically? So you handle the MSME office and multiple areas, from finance, marketing, awareness, activities. I think there's a range of things that you do. What does the department for MSME does on the skilling training front? And let's say if we have, I understand some MSME owners and department of heads here, various departments, how can your department be helpful to these young industries?
थैंक यू फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. जो आपने अभी पूछा है क्वेश्चन कि हम लोग किस तरह से मदद कर सकते हैं फॉर ऑल द MSMEs. So what we can do, we are organizing around 100 programs in a year, of 5 day to 1 day to 6 weeks, to skill development, to export, to digital marketing and all. So if any industry associations or some group has some requirement, so if they will come to us, we can organize the program for them. As per, we will fund them, we will give them certificate also, we will arrange all the resource person for them also. So this activity we are already doing, so there is no issue in this one. And apart from this also, we have so many schemes like for marketing, for exhibitions, for common facility centers, for all other means also we have so many facilities. So these anybody after even this program also, anybody has any query, he can contact me. Our office is at Science City, so that we can do. And one more thing which I want to add is that this today's topic, whatever is this is, it is a very much needed topic and very timely. It has been raised today. We are discussing, that's very good, because whenever we ask what are the problem with the MSME, we say technology, we say finance, we say infrastructure, like that, but we never talk about skill development. And it is a must to do, and as Vasa Sahab already telling, that it is not an overnight job, it will take time. Today we are thinking, then we will be able to do in years to something new. And as Padmin Bhai also told, that if we can take it in the daily this thing routine and continual improvement, then only we will be able to do it. Frankly speaking, we met so many industry, we met so many associations. I was in Gujarat, I was in Haryana 3-4 years back, and you may be knowing that Panipat is one of the hub of the textile, and they're very innovative people. And today words, all waste of this cloth waste is coming to Panipat, and they are recycling it. They are so challenging people. This mink blanket, it was imported from China, and now 100% they are making there. So when we met them so many times, so we told them what is your problem, so they are telling the skill problem is there. So because they are telling that this machine they cannot run, this ITI people, the ITI trained persons cannot run that. We went to ITI principal sir, and that nearby जो पानीपत में ITI है, हम गए वहाँ पे, हमने उनसे डिस्कस किया कि can you provide training to this on this machine. So they were telling sir, this is the curriculum we have already decided. If curriculum is to make, someone has to make the curriculum. Industry has no time to make the curriculum. So how to proceed? So there is a really big problem, big issues are there, because, but there are some, what I want to tell you, that our ministry has one more very good solution for that they have provided, that is technology center we have developed in the country. We have already 18 technology centers in the country. One is the IGTR, this you may be knowing in Ahmedabad. So this model I found is a better there for skill development, because last year they have trained 21,000 trainees in different sectors like CAD, CAM, automation, robotics. Now they have started AR, VR. So we have to think which model we can adopt for the industry. And I found that this model is particularly better because they are flexible. They can introduce their courses. They can implement. They can do. Even I was saying, I was in their AGM also member. So I was saying this Harsha, they have also training with them also, the IGTR. So this type of model we can think of for the industry, for MSMEs, because MSMEs has so much wide range. Today it was a Saturday, I was free, but Vasa Sahab invited at 6 p.m. So I have time. I have visited 2 units today. One is Kalol and one is Ahmedabad. So in Kalol unit has a turnover of 100 crores and they are employed 250 people. Okay, they are doing some work in carbon and they want training for very specialized thing, technical thing. And other unit I visited in Ahmedabad and they have 25 people and 1.5 CR turnover. They are making toys. So what I saw here in Ahmedabad, the women's जो ladies बैठी थी जमीन पे और assemble कर रही थी वो. So और एक प्रेस पे काम कर रही थी. There was no safety there. और नीचे बैठ के काम करने से efficiency वैसे ही कम होती है. Ergonomics का बिल्कुल खिलाफ है. तो we can see what is the difference. बहुत wide range of in MSME की जब ट्रेनिंग की जब हम बात करेंगे तो बहुत वाइड रेंज का डिफरेंस है इसमें. एंड इफ विल से अगर आप आज की बात देखें तो लगा 3.75 करोड़ MSMEs हैं इंडिया में और उसमें से 99% माइक्रो हैं. सो वो ट्रेनिंग मॉडल हम लोग कैसे डेवलप करें, किस तरह से करें, क्योंकि सेक्टर बहुत सारे अलग अलग हैं, उनका एजुकेशनल बैकग्राउंड बहुत बिल्कुल अलग अलग है. सो it will take time, जैसा कि वासु साहब कह रहे थे, and we have to continue work for that, जैसा कि हमारे आज के चीफ गेस्ट कह रहे थे. तो then only I think we will be able to find some solution which is sustainable, adoptable and practical.
Correct. Thank you so much, Pradeep ji. My question to Singh sir, you're building a university, and university which is one of its kind, possibly one of its kind in India. At a time when people are questioning whether universities will make sense in future, after 10, 20, 30 years, people are not able to understand what education should look like or what it should deliver. What is the outlook and the premise on which Kaushalya University is being built, and how is it going to be different from what ITI or what are the other activities that government is already doing?
Thank you so much. First of all, Ahmedabad Management Association, thank you very much for organizing this event. And I think the purpose of this event is basically related to MSME and how MSME can made aware of start the training in their own premises maybe, or train their manpower, so that the purpose of productivity, association, affiliation, as well as their ownership with the industry comes forward. And before I come to the question of establishment of the university, because you have raised a point on that university will be required in future or not, and that when the computers came, people say people will be required or not. I don't know, but people are still required. And when the AI came, people will say knowledge will be required or not. And when something else will come, but I think what my understanding of this generation, 34 years into teaching, everything will be required. Human you cannot exclude. And there will be certain skills which computers and AI will never be able to learn, and online will not be possible. You start from anything, from wearing your shoes to the top of the thing. So that is the second question. But I say that Kaushalya, the skill university, and the skill basically because that was the mandate of government of Gujarat, and I joined this 10 months back, and my predecessors and Mr. Ji and others are sitting here. We all have started keeping in mind that there's a big gap between what has been required by the industries. Number two, what is few trades we have in ITIs, and what new technologies and innovations are coming and demanding, maybe blankets in Panipat and many other things. And by the time it become institutionalized, maybe the economics man can tell better, as a strategy man I can tell, the life cycle of that product become so competitive that unless and until you take the first mover's advantage, MSME especially, innovations going to wane, right? If you are boarding the last bogie of the train, it's very difficult to sustain. So keeping in mind the whole ecosystem, it is decided to establish this university, and especially for MSME, because today I will address only them. We have big industries, already our partners, Arsenal, Mittal, Pidilite, but MSMEs, especially micro, small and medium and small industry, which are having more than 10 crores or 500 crores around turnover, are very much eligible to be part of Kaushalya's affiliated partners, and we can work with them. But before that, this is one what I wanted to say we can do, and we are doing it, which is on any area. I mean, any innovative area, sir, any new thing which is coming up, came yesterday, we are ready to make syllabus for them. We have the industry on board for making the syllabus. We are establishing sector skill councils for Gujarat and for all MSME ecosystems sitting here. But the most important is what we are facing, and I would say, Jaminji was discussing before we entered, is the motivation of MSME to train their people and adopt. And that is the purpose of this seminar. I tell you, with data, maybe he will be able to give more inputs on that, the data which I read from different sources, including ILO. 30% inputs, if at all, profitability or maybe output can be increased if the manforce is trained in the industry. And you said 11 crores, 110 millions right now are working in MSME. And by 2030, it is going to be 150 millions, 15 crores. And the Gujarat mandate for now is almost 10 lakh people every year. We are not going to do that. I think 17%, 18% of the industrial input which comes from Gujarat will not be sustained. And we were talking to industry every day. I mean, I'll not name deliberately for record's sake, but the biggest industry or the smallest and the medium, they all are suffering because the manpower is not there and the people are suffering. And second is attrition rate. The people join in and they leave in 3 minutes, three weeks or maybe 3 months. And fourth is they are trained, but they are not feeling ownership with the MSME. And then tough competition which is coming up, the behavioral part of skills, which is the ownership through training, leadership through training, financial management. I would say that if I join Kaushalya today, as I would say assistant professor or trading partner, I should know the balance sheet of Kaushalya on day one. That my inputs will make Kaushalya grow and I am party to the growth. And my redundancy will make my Kaushalya down, and that is another aspect of training which every industry should incorporate. And why I'm telling you this, because once upon a time there was not a problem of this much competition when the big fishes were not eating the smaller ones. At that point of time, it was easy that I have a cheap land, maybe I have a very soft loan, and I'm having an innovation which will not die in next 3 years or 4 years, I make money. But now it's gone. Land is costly, investment is costly, technology life cycle is very small, and innovations are also, obsoleting every 3 months to 3 years. And in that competition, if the trained manpower is not there, how you will compete? So MSME, my humble request to all of you, that unless and until you fight with that dynamism, the change, and without your manpower, a student of strategy, I tell you, diversification, conglomerate diversification, concentric diversification, amalgamation, and even closure should be happily taken up. If the MSME is closing one unit today and they have a vision to do bigger, and if the manpower trained is not, accepting that closure, MSME is gone. So what I'm saying is, this kind of ownership and relationship is needed, and there the academics. And the last thing, Kaushalya, we are here to make skill aspirational. The pipeline, why people are not coming for skill? Because it is not the aspirational thing for them. ITIs are suffering, polytechnics are suffering, we are also fighting because everybody wants to do something in higher education which is not a skilling, which doesn't require sunrage, which doesn't require, everyone requires this kind of room. So unless and until this hard way of doing things will not be learned, and catch them young. Yesterday we were discussing, Mr. Saab, catch them young. If you don't catch a boy or girl at the age of 14, 16, 18, it's gone. So if they have been caught at that point of time for skilling, and they are being trained by, they will not come to you unless and until you have a ladder for them to grow further. I join as a plumber and I may become the general manager. I join as a steel technologist, I become GM of Arsenal Mittal, Nippo Steel, and that will make skill aspirational. And therefore, level 4 and above is our responsibility. And we assure MSME, if 10-20% of bright manpower of yours is ready to groom themselves to the diploma, to degree C, post degree, and then to maybe PhD and want to do something more, we are there to help. And why we want to do it? You may think why we want to do it. We want to do it because seeing those success, many people will join skilling, and that is the mandate of Skill India. So that is where I wanted to say. I think I am able to respond to your question, or maybe a little bit more. I may be excused. Thank you so much.
Certainly. Wonderful inputs. I think two very important aspects Dr. Singh brought out. One is the dignity of labor. I think that is where India lacks in general compared to countries like Australia, United States, that our child will be far more comfortable to be an employee of a petrol pump, fuel station and a DMart in USA, but then considering something doing which is more skillful or more vocationally driven. But hopefully in times to come, I think with Skill University we have a better future. The other aspect, I think I was here at one of the exim conferences, and we met a couple of people, and we realized that a factory in Sanand which is coming up, so they are bringing in fabricators from Germany. So, I mean, the gentleman who was an entrepreneur tells me that, sir, such is the state of affairs that we don't have high quality fabricators in Gujarat or in India, and we have to bring them from Germany. And I could only respond helplessly by saying that, કે સર સારા ફેબ્રિકેટર નથી, અલગ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે, ખરાબ ફેબ્રિકેટર પણ ક્યાં છે? એટલે મેં કીધું, if you imagine, your home, God forbid, if your tap is leaking or if a carpenter is required, give me, it's a challenge that if he can show up in 24 hours, it's not possible. And then getting a good carpenter, a good plumber to come in 24 hours is another question. So I think, but this is skilling is perhaps one important national agenda, because if you look recently, we've surpassed Japan in terms of our GDP. But what is also important and to read is our population. We are 140 crores, we are approaching 5 trillion. Our GDP per capita, we are earning per capita income at $2,000, 2,100 to be more specific. We are earning $2,100 per person. Japan is earning $34,000 per person. So imagine that is the difference. And the only way to bring these people up the ladder, America is about $85,000 per person. So the only way we can bring this ladder up is by skilling them. So skilling has to be a national agenda more than the requirement of MSME. I think it's the national agenda which is more important. But I'll come to you, Acharya sir. I think you deal with a very difficult agenda, because on one hand there's a battery of entrepreneurs who will be feeling that entrepreneurship cannot be taught, and you run an institution which teaches entrepreneurship, tries to add some method to the madness, as they say. What is your consideration when you teach courses of entrepreneurship? You teach people to be capable first and then create the pipeline, or how is it? I mean, because entrepreneurs have this huge ability of being able to do everything themselves. How do you create that mindset that it's important to have professionals, or not professionals, right people at the right places? So, and of course, what EDI in general is doing. So,
thank you. I think after such a discussions on skill, all of
sorry, sir, I'll stop you in between. But meanwhile, I'll just prepare our next round of questions. This is an open question. Post Acharya sir's response, you could come on this. I would want one good case study. Maybe, sir, if we have done something in NSIC, not necessarily in Gujarat, but anywhere else, that case study will likely help. What have you done in the past, or sir, something at MSME department also? Post Acharya sir's question, we can come to you and understand what we have successfully implemented in the past. Yes, sir, please. Yeah.
So we had discussed about skill and requirement of skill, and also how the university is going to contribute to the knowledge. Entrepreneurship is also a skill set. That's the way we have the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in India. But again, I'm not commenting on that particular aspect. When I'm looking into entrepreneurship as a skill set, I divide the whole business sector. Okay, I divide the whole business sector into 3 broad domains. I think we need to understand which sector we are working. So at the bottom, we have the typical nano, or we are not defining there as a livelihood set of business. In the middle, we have the micro and small, which are all discussing. And then I have another third type of business that we call as a startup. They're all 3 different types. So when I'm looking into 3 different types, the type of requirement of these 3 different types are all differ. Again, when I'm looking into what is required to create this whole support system, I believe there are 3 different broad areas. One I called entrepreneur, the individual. Second is the enterprise, is the business. And third is the ecosystem. So if these 3 pillars are prepared, they can certainly going to contribute to the rest 3 different type of business that you're looking into. So we have a people mapping that what is the type of skill set which is required. Let me give an example. So now I'm working with micro enterprise. Currently, I'm working with more than 20,000 artisans in Gujarat. So we help them that how they can produce, what type of designing intervention that can be done, how they can market and how they can do it. I work with how they can convert their products into, we help them to go for GI. In the last 1.5 years, we have filed more than 10 GIs. I'm in the process of filing some more GIs in terms of agri and other product. So when I'm working with those community or those group at a very livelihood sector business, their entrepreneurship is a different flavor. They says we are not interested in creating a company. We are all more interested to how we can formalize our business, how we can connect them to business, how they can connect to the finance, how we can go to the social security. But they're saying we are very good what we are doing, help us in doing our products and services, but We don't want to be an entrepreneur that you want to help us how to create a company, how to go for GST, how to go for those things. So those components are not required. Let them continue what they're doing it now. When I'm working with the SMEs, when I'll teach typically with the chink of the family business and other, their aspirations are all different. Last year, we have done a survey for Government of Gujarat where it's related to the ramp, and we interacted with most of the SMEs across Gujarat to understand what are the challenges that you are looking into. Any guess? What is the skill development is challenge number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Number 1. So the number 1 challenge for the Gujarat SMEs was infrastructure. The number 2 was compliance, and the skill development was in the number 6. So we have done a survey across Gujarat to understand what the challenge that they're referring. So their skill development was not as a parameter that we are discussing. Again, we can argue based on my understanding at this particular point of time. When I'm looking at the third component, there I believe is the ecosystem which is more required for them so that they can prosper. We require to have an ecosystem in terms of understanding what the target segment that we are looking into. Let's say we are looking into China plus one. So if the China plus one, what are the different segments that as a country we are looking into? What type of infrastructure, what type of skill set that we can develop so that the global economy will feel India as a part of the supply chain. So whether it's a pharmaceutical, whether it's an EV, whether the segment that is required, and if we can build those type of skill set in India, we can certainly attract those industry, we can have a substantial growth. So a generic skill set for this sector, we need to have a specific skill set and understand what the market requires and how we can prepare. It's not that we will give generic that we are looking for fitters, again, those are required, but I believe that let's talk about more specific, what is the requirement of this country, how the world is looking at India, and what type of skill set we'll be looking into. And the third part, when I combine both skill and entrepreneurship for startup, I have a complete different take. So they come with a technology or an idea, but they lack completely about the sector where they are going to manage the business in terms of how to manage funds. I think I work with a series of startups, different startups in Gujarat, and I understand the challenge that they are facing is all about the business challenge rather than the technology or the understanding challenge. They may have that particular idea, but they don't know how they are going to manage the funds, how they can grow faster, how they can actually get the more benefit. So for me, entrepreneurship as a concept differ in all these three segments, and the type of skill set that requires for us differ. We need to work it out that what type of skill, what type of support, what type of knowledge we can give so that we can create a whole ecosystem which is going to prosper, which is going to connect to each other and can have a growth. I believe I have answered your queries. Thank you.
I think what Dr. Acharya has done is given a framework because it's important to identify. Padmin sir, I'm sorry, I had one question in mind, but you're leaving. So one small, because you are on boards of a few companies and it's just one number you need to give me. But as a young entrepreneur, MSME, I don't have a challenge today, but I know skilling is required. What is the parameter? Should I have a certain percentage of my turnover, a certain percentage of my profit dedicated to skilling? Will that forced approach for boards, for young MSMEs work, or will that not work? Just a good idea. I mean, what should a young entrepreneur approach skilling in his or factory or in business? What should he do? Yeah. Sir, my question is that businessman છે, I have a factory of 150-200 people. If કાલે સવારે કોઈ સ્કિલની જરૂર છે થઈ જશે, પણ કન્ટિન્યુઅસ ઇમ્પ્રુવમેન્ટનો જે અપ્રોચ છે એ આપણા માઇન્ડસેટમાં નથી, કાઇઝન જે કહીએ, ડોજો જે કહીએ, તો એના માટે what is the right mechanism to put me in entrepreneur કે 1% of profit, 10% of turnover, 3% should be dedicated to scaling? Is that one way?
Yeah, I think it's a very relevant question. The first and foremost is that the entrepreneur or who has started the startup, he or she should be believing in that. It starts with that. Percentage of profit comes later on. હું પોતે જો એમાં માનતો ના હોઉં અથવા માનતો હોઉં તો ઓટોમેટિકલી જ આખો ફેર પડી જતો હોય છે. So that is where the culture comes into picture, and the culture has to start from the top here, not it has to percolate down. Okay. So first and foremost requirement is કે જે entrepreneur કે જે promoter હોય, particularly MSME વાળો, એને માનવું જોઈએ કે નહીં, I want the people to be always ready with the required skill. And that has become a continuous process. So that is required. Then of course, તમારે automatically એના માટે fund allot કરવું જ પડે. Fund means resources, I would say, not only money. Resources means time, money, as well as bringing some people from outside to give the set of skills, that kind of thing. The key part is the entrepreneur or the startup himself or herself. He has to believe in that kind of thing. Right? Thank you.
I think now we can certainly leave you. So thank you. Dr. Singh, you wanted to respond on that question as well. Yeah.
Because this question is a little academic, so I'm taking it.
Please. Yeah.
Like there are two kind of entrepreneurs. Like what I have learned, they may be having many types, but by and large two types. One who are very short-sighted. I mean, they believe in making profit immediately, quickly, as much as they can. And there are another kind जो चाहते हैं कि लॉन्ग टर्म में हो, कुछ दिन और पैसा लगता रहे, 10 साल बाद प्रॉफिट आए, लेकिन आए तो फिर अच्छे से आए. आई मीन दो तरह के,
दो टाइप के प्लेयर शेयर बाजार में भी है.
हाँ, तो जो मुझे पसंद है ना, पहले वाले भी बुरे नहीं है, मैं उनको बुरा नहीं कह रहा, उनको भी, बट अगर उनका भी विजन ये है कि एक प्रोडक्ट से पैसा बना करके दूसरे लॉन्ग टर्म में लगाएं, तीसरे में लगाएं, बट कभी ना कभी तो लॉन्ग टर्म में आना पड़ेगा, ये पक्की बात है. EDI, आई एम श्योर अबाउट इट. तो आपको जो इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है वो प्रॉफिट से उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है, ना ही उसका इन्वेस्टमेंट से लेना देना है. Training is an investment. It is nothing that we do charity, and training will give it results late. आज ट्रेन करोगे तो 2 साल बाद 3 साल बाद उसका असर आएगा. तो वो 2-3 साल के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट करना, 2 साल के लिए, और उसमें आपको भूलना पड़ेगा कि वो एम्प्लॉय जिसको आप ट्रेन कर रहे हो वो आपकी इंडस्ट्री में ही रहेगा. एक जो फियर होता है कि आज इसको ट्रेन किया कल वो निकल गया, तो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ी सी फिलैंथ्रोपी जो कि इंडस्ट्री को लानी पड़ेगी. ट्रेनिंग तो कम से कम 10% लोगों की हर साल होनी ही चाहिए. उसके लिए चाहे मैंडेट बने, चाहे मन बने, चाहे लॉन्ग टर्म बने. अगर वो नहीं है तो फिर आप देश के लिए जो मैन पावर की बात है ना, उसमें आपकी इनपुट्स बहुत कम है. तो दिस इज माय एकेडमिक आंसर टू यू.
नहीं, certainly. Sir, of course, please. It's working, sir. Challenge.
Hello.
Yeah.
See, of course, as an organizer, since you have not asked, but I'm supposed to answer.
That was an open question. Yes, please.
See, I answer your 2 questions. Number 1, whether for MSME, micro, small or medium, whosoever are, that is very important is a mindset. See, you should have a mindset. What advantage I'm going to get is a different thing. But if you have a mindset, then definitely you are going to gain out of it. Secondly, you must know what kind of skill my staff require. It is never a generalized form. My company requires a different kind of skill. His company requires different kind of skill. So if the entrepreneur doesn't know what kind of skill is required in my organization, then otherwise he cannot. Otherwise you keep on spending without getting in results if you don't know. Because attribution is now the rule of the day. You are not going to keep the people at your end for a long time, provided you give them skills, proper skills. Now the whole science is different. You have to, I think somebody says, when you appoint a person, earlier you appoint by simply interview. Now to whom you are going to appoint, he will ask your balance sheet first. Because he wants to know that how much progress I will get in this particular organization. So for that, you need to get yourself totally updated, improve, then you are going to get a good people. And if you have a good people, good skill training, then you are definitely going to get a good result in your organization. This is my takeaway.
No, certainly. Thank you so much. No, but the reason I wanted to ask that question was because a lot of MSMEs operate by compulsion. So most of the things that we do are by compulsion. So જે young entrepreneurs બેઠા હોય, જે ફેક્ટરી ચલાવતા હોય, સર રોજ સવારે જે આગ લાગે ને એ જ પ્રોબ્લેમ સોલ્વ થાય. બાકી all the aspirational problems cannot be solved. So one of our ways of working is that can we have a defined budget? that every year come what may, we will spend 5%, and I'm sure as the entrepreneur sees profits, he'll likely increase that budget, decrease that budget, start seeing ROI, better identification. But that one start has to begin with a certain definition, that we will do a 5% of a certain amount, a turnover or a profit, and then see how it progresses. So that's one way of operating. But especially in the services sector, I have myself worked in a lot of service sector, and since my PhD was in organizational culture, believe me or not, sir, it is among the single most important parameters. An employee in service sector, the attrition ratio is as high as 30-35%. About on an average, 1/3 of your organization is replaced every single year, and the people who are having attrition less than 10, in fact, I've cited case study of one IT company in Ahmedabad, Elsner Technologies, who had less than 8% attrition ratio. The single biggest reason was training. And they said that employees had a feeling of growing in this one company. One of the reasons why employees leave your organization is because of the lack of growth. And if you are training them, if you are growing them, they will not feel the requirement. So I think that is the mindset we need to start cultivating. But I'll come back on the question. I was preparing my search for that, sir. One good case study, NSIC, something you want to cite that you did anywhere outside India, in Gujarat, Ahmedabad, wherever, of industry coming together, building a certain skill set, and the entire industry pie grew. ऐसा कुछ something that you've done, or maybe Ojha sir, you want to respond, however.
ऐसा तो कोई स्टोरी तो हमारे एंड में तो वी हैव नेवर कम एक्सेस, बट देन वी हैव सम द फर्स्ट जनरेशन एंटरप्रेन्योर्स, they have took training in our NTSC Okhla centers, and at that time this company Motherson Sumi was coming up at that time, 95, 96. So few of our trainees, they joined during their placement drive, they joined Motherson Sumi. And after 3-4 months, they left the companies and they come to our office and they told that नहीं हमें जमता नहीं है, हमें नहीं अच्छा लग रहा वहाँ पे, so we want to start something. तो 3-4 लोग ये थे, they are diploma holders. उन्होंने कुछ प्लास्टिक के कुछ आइटम्स तो बना के लाए थे, एंड दे वो दिखाया, उन्होंने बोलता कि सर इसमें हम करना चाहते हैं, तो आप हमें क्या हेल्प कर सकते हो उसमें. तो एट दैट टाइम वी हैव सम स्कीम फॉर मशीन फाइनेंसिंग एंड दिस ट्रेनिंग एंड ऑल दैट वर ऑल्सो देयर. सो फिर उनको हमने बोला कुछ मशीन्स वगैरह वो फाइनेंस कराए. फिर हमारा एक वो एग्जीबिशंस प्लस एक हमारा एक होता है कि कुछ डेलीगेशंस हम बाहर लेके जाते हैं. तो हमारा कुछ डेलीगेशंस था, हम उनको जापान लेके गए थे. तो वो 4 जो थे उनको हम वहाँ पे लेके गए थे. वहाँ से उन्होंने कुछ जो ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर का कुछ वहाँ पे जो उन्होंने विजिट किया, वहाँ पे रहे थे वो लोग 15-20 दिन. फिर वो आके फिर दे हैव स्टार्टेड ए यूनिट, एंड दे हैव नाउ सप्लाइंग टू मिंडास एंड इवन मारुति.
वंडरफुल.
तो मतलब वही था कि स्किल डेवलपमेंट ये वही है कि वो लोग बोलते हैं कि हम आपने ट्रेनिंग तो दी है, बट हमें आप आगे की अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी दीजिए. तो वो चीज़ है, मतलब दैट इज ए गुड एग्जांपल.
Certainly, sir. I think these are the stories that help build a certain confidence in the activities.
And
Yes,
secondly,
Ojha, sir,
I just now transferred from Nasik, and Nasik there's a company Innova Rubbers करके हैं, उनका नाम तो Innova Rubbers Private Limited है.
Yeah.
बट देन नाउ दे आर इनटू ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर हैं. वो एक्सपोर्ट भी करते हैं, टाटास को भी करते हैं, महिंद्रा को भी करते हैं. तो उनके वहाँ पे इट्स ए हार्डली आई थिंक 150 to 200 crores कंपनी, बट दे हैव ए ह्यूज मैन पावर, और एवरी मंथ दे हैव ए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम. कहीं ना कहीं से एक्सपर्ट बुला रहे हैं, बाहर से एक्सपर्ट बुला रहे हैं, कुछ कर रहे हैं वो, मतलब दे आर स्पेंडिंग ए लॉट ऑफ मनी इन ट्रेनिंग. तो कभी भी जाओ उनके पास नहीं होता, ट्रेनिंग चल रहा है, यू कैन नॉट मीट एंड ऑल दैट. सो मतलब जब उनके हम जो मिस्टर बक्सी हैं, उनके एमडी हैं, उनसे मिलते हैं, बोलते हैं इतने सारे ट्रेनिंग क्यों करते हैं सर, जो आपका है आप तो मतलब गवर्नमेंट कंपनी से भी आपके यहाँ पे किसी को मिलना मतलब इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. तो बोलते हैं हमारा ये एक जनरल प्रैक्टिस है, और हम हर जगह में मतलब सारे तरीके का ISO उन्होंने अडॉप्ट किया हुआ है, एंड ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ ट्रेनिंग मतलब वो करते रहते हैं. वो बोलते हैं हमें पैसे ज़्यादा नहीं कमाना है, हमें क्वालिटी पे ध्यान देना है, और क्वालिटी तभी आएगा जब ट्रेनिंग और स्किल डेवलपमेंट होता रहेगा और अपग्रेडेशन होता रहेगा. तो अच्छा है वो कंपनी. दे आर नाउ आई थिंक दे आर आजकल ऑटोमोबाइल सेक्टर तो पीक पे है, एंड दे आर द वन ऑफ द मेजर सप्लायर टू द महिंद्रा. तो बोलते हैं हमारा काम अच्छा चल रहा है, स्किल अच्छा इम्प्रूवमेंट होगा तो हमारा भी काम अच्छा बढ़ेगा. दिस आर द फ्यू एग्जांपल्स.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच.
हाँ, इसमें मैं 2-3 सक्सेस स्टोरी आपको बताना चाहूँगा जो हमारे मंत्रालय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME की हैं. एक एक बिल्कुल रिसेंट हम लोगों ने 17 सितंबर 2023 को और मिनिस्ट्री हैज़ लॉन्च ए स्कीम नेमली PM विश्वकर्मा, ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर ड्रीम दिस स्कीम इज़ देयर। तो 17 सितंबर 2023 को लॉन्च की थी एंड इसका जो टारगेट था इट वाज टू कंप्लीट 30 लाख रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ 18 ट्रेड्स ऑफ लाइक गोल्ड स्मिथ है, कुम्हार है, लोहार है, इस तरह के जो बहुत ही अनप्रिविलेज्ड जो अपना सेगमेंट है उनको आगे लाने के लिए। टेलरिंग भी है उसमें, इवन बार्बर भी है। सो इन दैट स्कीम बेसिकली जस्ट अभी 1.5 साल ही हुआ है लगभग एंड वी आर ऑलमोस्ट कंप्लीट द टारगेट एक्चुअली, जिसका कि 5-6 साल का था। एंड इसमें वन ऑफ द की कंपोनेंट इज स्किलिंग आल्सो। सो इन गुजरात वी हैव अचीव्ड 2.13 lakh this complete registration and 1.8 lakh training we have already given to the state government in this state and as well as in country more than 20 lakhs का ट्रेनिंग हमने दिया है इसमें। और इसमें टूल किट भी इसमें दिया जाता है, जो भी काम कर रहा है उसको 15,000 का। So that mechanism is also developed through e-voucher and post department. This has been done. So I think this is one of the big story. And on 17 September, this 2 years are being completed, and Honorable Prime Minister is most likely to facilitate this thing and maybe or upscale the scheme also. So one thing is this one. Another thing, एक चीज़ जो आपने जो बहुत अच्छा एक सजेशन दिया है, इट हैज़ वेरी इम्प्रेसिव कि अगर हम लोग कुछ जो टर्नओवर का अगर हम लोग करते हैं तो दैट विल बी ए लैंडमार्क। अगर हम इसको सोचें तो ये हो सकता है। बहुत ही अच्छा सजेशन मुझे लगा आपका ये। दूसरा, हम लोग जब इंडस्ट्री से मिलते हैं तो लगभग सभी इंडस्ट्री हमसे एक सजेशन और भी देती है कि मनरेगा को भी इससे लिंक किया जाए, स्किलिंग से इंडस्ट्री के साथ जोड़ा जाए। हालांकि ये सोशल पॉलिटिकल डिसीजन है, बट हम लोग जहाँ भी मिलते हैं तो 90% इंडस्ट्री हमसे यही कहती है कि ये मनरेगा में जो लेबर वेबर से आप काम कराते हो, गड्ढे खुदवाते हो, भरवाते हो, इससे अच्छा है कि यू इंगेज विद द इंडस्ट्री। सो दैट इज़ आल्सो वन सजेशन। एंड वन मोर थिंग विच आई वांट टू ऐड इज़ दैट इसमें अगर हम लोग सोचेंगे कि केवल हम अकेले ही कर लेंगे तो ये भी एक डिफ़िकल्ट है। तो इसमें ना बहुत सारे जो SHGs हैं, NGOs हैं, इनको भी लिंक करना बहुत ज़रूरी है। मैं एक आपको एग्जांपल बताता हूँ। हम लोगों ने गुड़गांव में हमें एक NGO से मुलाकात हुई थी, दारूवेड़ा के पास में एक जगह थी। तो शी वॉज किसी NID वगैरह से उसने पास आउट किया था एंड शी वॉज डूइंग गुड वर्क फॉर द वुमेन्स ऑफ उस गाँव में काम कर रही थी वो। तो जो पेपर अपना वेस्ट होता है, रद्दी का अखबार है, उससे बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट बनाते हैं वो। मतलब जो भी आप सोच सकते हैं, जैसे इसकी पैकिंग है, घड़ी है, बास्केट है, उस पर वार्निशिंग वगैरह हो जाती है, तो उससे वो बनाते थे। तो वी हैड डन वन ट्रेनिंग विद दैम फॉर 6 weeks। उसका उनको बहुत फ़ायदा हुआ। और जब हमने ट्रेनिंग उनके साथ करी तो हमें लगा कि इनके लिए तो कुछ सेटअप भी होना चाहिए। तो देन वी अप्रोच फॉर दिस स्फूर्ति स्कीम, जो EDII भी इसमें काम करता है। तो उसमें हमने EPCH के साथ उनको लिंक किया, तो उनका प्रोजेक्ट वगैरह हमने सबमिट कराया और फाइनली दे गॉट दिस प्रोजेक्ट आल्सो। 2-3 करोड़ का था। तो दे हैव डन एंड दे आर डूइंग गुड वर्क फॉर देम आल्सो। सो इस तरह से हमें ऐसा नहीं है कि केवल हम लोग सोचें कि हम ही सब कुछ कर लेंगे, तो वो भी एक थोड़ा सा गलत होगा। इसमें हमें जो मिडिल मैन है या जो NGOs हैं या जो भी उनके फैसिलिटेटर हैं, उनको भी जोड़ना इसमें ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि उनके थ्रू ही हम लोग फिर पूरा पेनिट्रेट कर पाएंगे। अदरवाइज फिर हमारा जो है सुपरफिशियल रहेगा।
Correct. No, I think as we said, sir, it's a national mission. Everybody will, right from the industry, the academia, the government, the civil society stakeholders, everybody will have to come in. I'll come to the audience next. I'll ask my one last question and then we hit some audience questions. Acharya sir, what about the skilling of entrepreneurs? We are talking about skilling employees, skilling manpower, skilling workforce, but entrepreneur को कौन बोलेगा कि आपका skill और mindset issue, looking at new opportunities, एक तो वो कैसे उसको prepare करे और वो उसके लिए कैसे time निकाले?
Perfect. I think so. When I was working, we discussed a lot about entrepreneurship and skilling. So first thing that everybody talk about entrepreneurship is about that entrepreneurs should have passion. Do you feel there is any change in the current status, or we still prioritize passion? I need everybody to react. आपको क्या लगता है कि passion होना चाहिए या कुछ और हमको train करना है? Passion होना चाहिए. So that's a very common element. But over a period, that the structured research is right now saying that discipline is more important than the passion. Yeah. So again, when we are talking about that 1% or 2%, I have to go for. Discipline is a part of passion. discipline is about you want to be Virat Kohli, then everybody you have to be in
No,
the
I
batting
think the
field.
easier definition is, or
Yeah.
rather, let's say, sir, sustained passion is discipline.
Discipline. I think we can interpret in variety of manners. Again, I'm
Yeah,
basically from research background, so I try to interpret in that particular manner. So to what extent we can help the people to talk about discipline? So when we talk about that 2% of the profit for CSR, or let's say 1% of the profit for skill development. So this is going to come out of discipline. How much amount of time I should be investing in my business? To what much of time I'll be investing for my ecosystem development or my contribution to the society? I think this is going to come about the passion. This is going to come about the discipline. So I think we need to prioritize right now about the discipline, about purely as an entrepreneurship skill set. That's something the research is talking about. And I think how much we are all being an entrepreneur is also contributing towards, I think that's a skill which very difficult to, theoretically very difficult, but how much we are contributing back to the society at least. Obviously all business are contributing. As an entrepreneur, I am contributing back to the society, but as an entrepreneur, what extent we are providing support to the others? I think these are the two skill set I'll be more interested in future. Others we're already working. I don't want to repeat which is already known to the people. I'm also working in what can be done. I'll just give one example just to. So I'm working with one of the startup and they are into creating a particular type of a. Initially they started off with working on a device which can collect blood and which can store bloods. It's a very common requirement that in the villages and other areas. So if you want to collect the blood sample and has to be tested, a minimum some ml, 20 ml or 10 ml, he is going to take it from your blood, and that's the amount of blood has to be go to the laboratory for testing. And it is a common practice that the whole amount of blood that he is actually taking from you is not required for the test. Today the whole equipment is required certain amount of droplets on which the most of the test can be done. But again, this is the practice that all of us are giving for on a daily basis. Why it cannot be taken to the rural market? Because in the rural market, again, the blood need to be transferred in a particular manner so that it can come to the laboratories in Ahmedabad can be tested. So it come out with a very simple device. By that device that where you can collect the blood, it can be very simple, which can be collected the blood at your place. You don't require any typical support of any other person, and that particular application can store the blood. It is a patented product, and that's the way it can be done. So when we start working on this particular product, to make it market to the customer, it was very difficult because the whole amount of money is required just to establish this technology is viable. And people are going to accept it. After some period of time, again, the same product, we started interacting with some of the hospitals in Ahmedabad. So one of the leading hospitals get connected. And there we try to understand that how this product can be utilized in some other different manner. And then we come to learn that the same blood this sampler can be used to collect some of the urine other samples which can help us to identify cervical cancers in the women. And this particular knowledge was possible by the combination of the industry and the startups requirement. So what I believe right now, we have all established business. Everybody, the entrepreneurs are there. But these entrepreneurs, they also make it a discipline to contribute at least certain percentage of time to support the next generation. I think we'll have a huge amount of change. So I don't want to repeat which is already known. This is something about my understanding that what can be done right now so that we can go to the next stage of the growth in the industry.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Jaimin sir, I'll come to you and then Singh sir. Yeah, sir, please. Yeah.
As you ask, the quality of entrepreneur, training to the entrepreneur, I've initially applied that there should be a mindset in the entrepreneur, not to give the skill to the employees, but to him also. And he should have a knowledge of his own business, knowledge of his own products, because at any point of time, he might get some different results what he has thought. I'll give you my example. In 2010, it was about to be get my company closed because of the attack from China, so far as the price is concerned. I was not knowing what I should do. Then I started doing research. Initially with the unorganized way, I started doing the organized research, enrolled myself into the university. It was an India-China SME contribution in selected sectors. I did study for 5 years. I could find out the reason. Even the economy of scale is not the only reason that China can beat us. So that research helped me to make my company grow, survive, and sustain. So for every entrepreneur, the knowledge, research, discipline and mindset, these are the four, whether it is a micro, small or medium. So as rightly said, asked by Jainil, and he also replied that particular question himself only, that how it can help to us. So I think all my colleagues will agree with me. Okay, for any these things, you must know that what your company needs. You must know what your employee needs. You must know how you can organize and run your company successfully.
And I think, sir, yeah, before we go to Singh, there's also one element that we as entrepreneurs have always overcome, and that is fear. But somehow when it comes to skilling, I think થોડીક આપણે એક એવી મેન્ટાલિટી પણ ડેવલપ કરવી પડશે કે 10 પ્રોગ્રામ અટેન્ડ કરવા જવું એક પ્રોગ્રામ ખરાબ હતો તો હતો. ઘણીવાર I think this whole idea of targetful identification of right program, right skill, that is itself a barrier to attempting so many other things which will work. So I think it's fine. I mean, let's say you have 10 trainers coming to your home. You should be fine if 9 are working.
All
and
different.
yeah, that's the whole point. But yeah, Ojha sir, I'll come to you. Singh sir,
Yeah, I just wanted to add, because I have couple of entrepreneurs at my home also.
Correct.
And most of them, other than me, are into business. And seeing you to Jamin Vasa
By
Sahab
the way,
and
that's
Jamin.
a politer way of telling that घर पे भी शांति नहीं है. But yeah, because
नहीं, मैं वही बताना चाह रहा हूँ.
Yeah,
So when I joined this teaching profession, it's very personal. People were quite worried that what for you are going into this profession. You're earning a lot of money. I did myself 2 years into business, and then I decided to drop down my income to 7% and join teaching profession because passion. Why I'm telling you this, not just to play, because this game of Ma Saraswati and Lakshmi, which the question you raised is lying there in mythology, and maybe that way. As much Lakshmi comes, that much respect should be given to Saraswati. That many times what happen, as much Lakshmi comes, that much you disregard Saraswati, because you think that Lakshmi is running the show. But actually Saraswati is running the show. Lakshmi is a complementary part of Saraswati. So unless and until this kind of forums will not sit, I mean, frankly speaking, whatever we are talking, we are being trained by right now through entrepreneurs in this hall from last 1.5 hours, and you are being trained by us with our knowledge. That few organizations where my couple of relatives do get a lot of training is Lions Club, JCs, and many other such organization and club activities. They have huge amalgamation of MSMEs joining together. They organize events like AMA is doing. So they have, but again, not every program is successful, as you rightly said. Out of 10, 8 may be success, 2 may be failures, but that is the way. Not all teachers, all we are equally good. So that's one part. But if you have that combination and seeing both of you and telling you said शांति घर पे नहीं होगी, मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ, जिस घर में भी लक्ष्मी के साथ सरस्वती का वास होगा वहाँ बहुत शांति होगी. I guarantee for that. ये पक्की बात है. This is combination is required. I'm sorry I've taken it to that level, but that is actually my level I've seen.
Absolutely. In fact, both me and Jaimin sir have the privilege to be a part of 2 institutions, AMA and Chamber, and we always politely say કે સરસ્વતી નું મંદિર છે ને પેલું લક્ષ્મી નું મંદિર છે. And
entrepreneurs can go for the teaching in academia. Probably academia has a little chances of going to the entrepreneurship. I as an entrepreneur,
Yes.
Jainin as an entrepreneur,
And that is where,
we
sir,
are
our
also into
responsibility
the
remains.
academics and education.
मैं आपसे बताऊं, मैं throughout my life I never left one thing that is called training. I was into training for 5 years initially in my life from 1996 to 2001. And IMDUP today I'm telling you, Institute of Management Development and Training. I was a master trainer for all civil servants, all police officers, all entrepreneurs, all MDs, GMD or GDA and everything. Because that has given me what knowledge I'm carrying today. I have trained them, I don't know how much. But they have trained me in that training hall many a times,
In the
though I
process
was the
we learn.
resource person. So it is, you have to be humble. It's not that I am going to teach, so I am teaching. No, I am teaching, but learning also, vice versa. And that respect, if money and again comes together, and I would say my Kaushalya team is sitting here, 5-6 of them are sitting here. You entrepreneurs, I request you and offer you, whenever you will call any one of them, they will come and interact with you, and vice versa. You are most welcome to come and interact with us. Otherwise, this gap will never be fulfilled. Let's be.
No, it's a collective
yeah.
responsibility.
So- sorry.
Ojha sir, last remarks and we take the questions. Yeah, one
shortly,
second. Anybody has a question? Yeah, Peter, the mic can go first here and then we'll come back.
Just
Gentleman in blue shirt. Second
Just
row.
I wanted
Yeah.
to add one thing only.
Yeah, please.
Because I find that there may be some people may not be knowing. Actually, recently from 1st April 2025, as you were telling, the fear of upscaling and like that. So the definition of MSME has also been increased significantly, because Singh Saab was telling that definition has been changed now. Now the 1 crore micro is now 2.5 crore is the capital investment, and the 5 crore turnover has been increased to 10 crore. Similarly to the small and all. So this definition has been changed so that we have to upscale, and MSME has to become a big and not as a small. So because at this global platform or national platform or like that, so we have to.
Yes, the scope is increasing. Yeah, sir, we'll come to the question. Just a quick request. We have 10 minutes maximum. So short question, direct question.
Introduction?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
ગુજરાતી ફાઇન.
Absolutely.
આપણે અહીંયા ઘણા બધા વર્ડિંગ મેં દોઢેક કલાકમાં સાંભળ્યા. એક માણસની જરૂરત ફેક્ટરીમાં પડવાની જ છે. સ્કિલ ઘણી બધી વાર રિપીટ થયું, પેશન અને ડિસિપ્લિન. પણ જે પ્રોબ્લેમ આપણે મતલબ નથી ફાઇન્ડ આઉટ કરી શકતા, એ કંઈક એવો લાગી રહ્યો છે કે પહેલાં લોકોને ભણવાની અને સ્કિલ અપગ્રેડ કરવાની ધગશ હતી. અત્યારે હવે માણસમાં એ જોવા નથી મળતી. તો એ આગ લગાડવા માટે શું કરવું પડશે આપણે? એનું કોઈ સોલ્યુશન?
Question. I think it must go to the academicians. I'm sorry, but Singh sir, you want to go for it or Acharya?
And adding to that,
Yeah.
adding to
Yeah. No, I think we'll take only one. No, the question is, sir, कि the willingness to learn. आदमी को एक अपग्रेड होने की जो एबिलिटी है या वो विलिंगनेस वो पहले ज्यादा थी, अभी नहीं है.
बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं.
वो एक कारण है क्योंकि इंटरनेट फ्री हो गया तो सब रील्स देखने में बिजी है.
मेरा अपना एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि 100 में से 20 लोग, 80 भूल जाइए. मैं लाइफ इज़ वेरी सिंपल फॉर मी. मैं बहुत सारे इंस्टीट्यूशन चला के आया हूँ. देयर इज अ रूल ऑफ 70-30, 80-20. 80%, 70% लोगों को तो ऐसी ज़िंदगी गुजारनी है. उनको धक्का मारिए, शायद लग जाए तो पकड़ लीजिए, गिर रहे तो पकड़ लीजिए, शायद सीख लेंगे. बट 30-20% आर रेडी टू लर्न. आइडेंटिफाई देम, ट्रेन देम, दे विल रन द इंस्टीट्यूशन. बाकी को भूल जाइए, अपना समय मत खराब करिए. एकेडमिशियन का आंसर है, प्रैक्टिकल आंसर है.
I think that's. I mean, you don't expect an academician to give such a practical answer, but so nice.
I'll just talk
Sir,
about-
yeah.
ओके सी हम लोग अपनी जो बचपन से जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसके बारे में मैं इसी के बाद बात करता था. हम लोग सारी टाइम अपने बच्चों को बोला कि नॉर्मल बिहेव करो. अगर कोई भी कुछ अलग बात करता है मैं बोलता हूँ प्लीज़ बिहेव नॉर्मल. ये चीज़ मैं बहुत सारी फैकल्टी को अक्रॉस बहुत सारी प्रोग्राम करता हूँ. मैं सबको बोलता हूँ कि हम लोग एक टीचर है और हम लोग का पूरी जिम्मेवारी जो है कि हम नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को ट्रेन कर रहे हैं. और बीइंग ए टीचर हम लोग जब क्लास पे जाते हैं हम सबको बोलते हैं कि प्लीज़ बिहेव नॉर्मली. तो आप बता सकते हैं कि नॉर्मल बिहेवियर क्या है? हम क्या बोलना चाहते हैं एज ए टीचर, एज ए फैक्ट? आप भी कभी भी जाएंगे तो आपको नॉर्मल बिहेवियर का मतलब है कि मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ आपको सुनना है, आपको कभी क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछना है. इज इट ओके? आप नॉर्मल बिहेवियर को कैसे मानते हैं? दिमाग में आता है. आप कितनी टीचर या अगेन जो भी हमारा सिस्टम है, सो एक स्टैटिस्टिक्स पे हम नॉर्मल कर्व की बात करते हैं, वो एक बेल शेप कर्व है और जो बीच वाला पोर्शन है उस पर मीन, मीडियन, मोड सेम होता है. यानी उसको हम नॉर्मल मानते हैं. वो दोनों तरफ डेविएंट्स है. यानी जो पॉजिटिवली डेविएंट करते हैं यानी पॉजिटिवली इम्पैक्ट करते हैं, कोई नेगेटिवली इम्पैक्ट करते हैं. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हमारी सारी एजुकेशन सिस्टम में सबको धकेल रहे हैं कि आप नॉर्मली बिहेव करो. नॉर्मल बिहेवियर एक 50% बिहेवियर है. यानी जिसका पोटेंशियल है उसका 40 से 50% अगर वो बिहेव करता है यानी उसको अचीव करता है, हमको सबसे अच्छा लगता है. और दुनिया का कंट्रीब्यूशन ये जो बीच का परसेंट वाला मीडियन वाला जो बंदे हैं उन लोग ने कुछ नहीं किया है. पॉजिटिव डेविएंट्स और नेगेटिव डेविएंट्स ही वर्ल्ड को कंट्रीब्यूट किया है. तो हमारी सिस्टम में जैसे सर ने बोला, जितनी जल्दी हम वो डेविएंट्स को आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएंगे, हम उसको टिपिकल टर्म में डेविएंट्स बोलते हैं, जो नया आइडिया लेके आता है, जो शायद हर एक चीज़ को एनालाइज करने की कोशिश करता है, अगर उनको लेके हम ट्रेन करेंगे, आई थिंक ये बाकी जो 60% को संभाल लेंगे, बिकॉज दे हैव दैट पावर. सो कहीं ना कहीं उस सिस्टम में हम सबको लेके चले. आई थिंक आई एम जस्ट सपोर्टिंग व्हाट सर इज टॉकिंग अबाउट. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो हाउ फास्ट वी कैन आइडेंटिफाई दोज डेविएंट्स हु हैव दैट आइडिया, हु हैव दैट पर्टिकुलर स्किल, और कॉमनली वी कॉल देम एज अ स्पार्क. जहां पे मैं स्पार्क को आइडेंटिफाई करूं, उसको ट्रेन करूं, आई थिंक वी कैन मूव फास्टर. Again, thank you.
Correct. Wonderful. Any other question, sir? Very shortly and quickly.
Very shortly. Thank you. હું 38 વર્ષથી આર્કિટેક્ચરલ અને ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીયલ મોડલ્સ બનાવું છું અને 10 વર્ષથી આર્કિટેક્ટ કોલેજમાં હું પ્રોફેસરે છું અને મોડલ મેકિંગના વર્કશોપ પણ લઉં છું.
Question, sir. Yes, yes.
તો મારી પ્રપોઝલ એ છે કે આ ટેકનિકલ સબ્જેક્ટ છે, પણ 77 વર્ષમાં એક પણ સરકારે આનો કોર્સ ક્યાંય દાખલ નથી કર્યો, આઈટીઆઈ સ્કિલમાં કે ક્યાંય કોઈ પણ જગ્યાએ
No, sir. Suggestion હોય તો we will take up. ચોક્કસ. We can meet.
સજેશન નથી, મારી પ્રપોઝલ છે.
જી.
વર્લ્ડ લેવલે મોડલ મેકિંગ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ કોઈએ બનાવી નથી હજુ સુધી. તો મારી પ્રપોઝલ છે કે દુનિયાની પહેલી મોડલ મેકિંગ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ ભારતમાં બને તો 25,000 નવી રોજગારીનું સર્જન થાય, 30,000 કરોડનો બિઝનેસ થાય. આ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝથી વર્લ્ડ લેવલે આપણે એક મોનોપોલી ઊભી કરી શકીએ, જે હજુ સુધી ભારતની એક પણ ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીઝ નથી કરી શકી, અને ગિનિસ બુક ઓફ વર્લ્ડ રેકોર્ડમાં 5 રેકોર્ડ્સ બને.
We understand. No, thank you so much. I think we are
તો
here
હું
to take
તમારા
suggestions.
બધા સાથે હું 15 મિનિટ વાત કરવા માંગુ છું આના
Chokkos.
માટે.
Yeah, we will interact after the session for sure. No, we are happy to take suggestions. At AMA also we are making, in fact, just તમારા એક નાના નોલેજ માટે એક મેકર સ્પેસનું પણ મોટું અહીંયા આયોજન થઈ રહ્યું છે આવનારા 1-1.5 વર્ષમાં ₹2 કેપિટલ એક્સપેન્સ પર. સો વી આર વર્કિંગ ઓન ધીસ એન્ડ વી અન્ડરસ્ટેન્ડ ધ નીડ. યસ સર.
नमस्कार.
क्वेश्चन હોય તો પ્લસ. યસ સર.
नमस्कार.
यस.
एक तो आप वक्त बहुत कम देते हैं हम लोगों को, ये एक प्रॉब्लम है. आगे भी ये हुआ हुआ है. फिर भी मैं एक आयरन ट्रेडर्स बिजनेसमैन हूँ और एंटरप्रेन्योर भी हूँ. तो जो MSME लगातार जो भी हमको सपोर्ट मिलना चाहिए वो हमको चाहिए, तो कैसे आप दे सकते हो? एज अ फाइनेंशियल, एज अ मार्केटिंग, स्किल, सबकी भूख हम में है, पर उसके लिए जो प्लेटफॉर्म या सीढ़ी हमको चाहिए वो नहीं मिल रही है. तो अगर आप में से कोई दे सकता है
ओझा सर, you
तो
want to
हम
take
लेने
this
के लिए तैयार है.
श्योर.
और मेरे को थोड़ा आइडिया था कि ये इसका जवाब ओझा साहब भी देंगे.
बस सर.
हाँ,
Wonderful.
thank you.
Anything else? We have any questions towards the back side? Yeah, I think last gentleman in the end. Yeah. जी.
गुड इवनिंग सर. आई बेटर स्पीक इन हिंदी. विल इट बी ओके?
जो ठीक लगे. हाँ.
सर मेरा सवाल इसके लिए रहेगा कि हम स्किल डेवलपमेंट और ट्रेनिंग की बात करें एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए, तो गवर्नमेंट उनके लिए बहुत हेल्प कर रही है, लेकिन उनके साथ साथ जो प्राइवेट ट्रेनर्स डेवलप हो रहे हैं इस वक्त मार्केट में, काफ़ी CA हैं, काफ़ी MBAs हैं, और मतलब कहना चाहें कि वेल क्वालिफाइड पीपल जो इस इंडस्ट्री में उतर रहे हैं, और गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट उन्हें इनवाइट भी करते हैं ताकि वहाँ के जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो उनको ट्रेन कर पाएँ. बट दे आर मनी माइंडेड. मोस्ट ऑफ आर मनी माइंडेड. वो अपनी पूरी स्किल वहाँ पर जो एक डेमो लेक्चर या 2-3 दिन का डेमो लेक्चर हो रहा है वो वहाँ नहीं बताएंगे. और गवर्नमेंट में जो EDB प्रोग्राम्स हो रहे हैं, CED में हो रहे हैं या EDII में हो रहे हैं, वहाँ पे उनको बेसिक्स लेवल का एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को वहाँ पे एक ट्रेनिंग दे दिया जाता है. तो ऐसे जो ट्रेनिंग्स हो रहे हैं जिनके ऊपर रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, जो कि MBAs हैं या रिसर्चर्स हैं, PhDs हैं, तो जो बहुत लेवल पे आगे काम आ सकते हैं एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए, तो गवर्नमेंट ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकती कि ऐसे जो स्किल बेस्ड पीपल हैं जिनको स्किल के बारे में बहुत ज़्यादा नॉलेज है, जो कि रिसर्च कर रहे हैं, कंटिन्यूस रिसर्च कर रहे हैं मार्केट और इंडस्ट्री में जाकर, तो उनके बीच का जो गैप है एंटरप्रेन्योर और जो स्किल बेस्ड हैं उनको बीच में मिलाया जाए, क्योंकि वो मनी माइंडेड हैं, वो अपने पैसे के लिए ही आएंगे, और गवर्नमेंट है वो बहुत कम पैसे में उनको इक्विप करवाने की कोशिश करेगी. तो उनका गैप फिलअप करने के लिए कुछ किया नहीं जा सकता?
ठीक है. So what we broadly, in fact, collectively we don't understand the question, but what I understand briefly is कि आप ये कहते हो कि जो कंसल्टेंट्स है वो बहुत पैसे चार्ज करते हैं, गवर्नमेंट पैसा नहीं देती है, तो कंसल्टेंट्स और एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को मिलाने की आप बात कर रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं?
जी हाँ, मैं यही कह रहा था कि कंसल्टेंट्स जो हैं बिजनेस कंसल्टिंग के आजकल बहुत मिल रहे हैं.
ठीक है.
इवन हम अभी देखना चाहें तो
नहीं, वो
YouTube
समझ
पे-
गए, सवाल पूछिए. हाँ.
तो जो नॉलेज दे रहे हैं वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
करेक्ट।
हम जाके अटेंड भी करते हैं, कई बार आपको सिर्फ 3 दिन का आपको सेमिनार मिलता है, वो भी आपको 30,000 40,000
हाँ।
3 दिन, सिर्फ 3 दिन का,
ठीक है,
वैल्यूएबल है।
हाँ।
बट कई ऐसे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं जो इनिशियल स्टेज पे इसे अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकते, तो गवर्नमेंट ऐसा कुछ नहीं कर सकती कि वो उन जो ट्रेनर्स को उनको वहाँ पे लेकर आए।
We'll figure it out. Any other question? Last question we can take up. Otherwise, sir, beta, we have one question right in the second row. You have a long walk to make. Okay, sir, वो question उनका ये था कि एक्सपेंसिव ट्रेनर्स को एक्सेसिबल बनाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं कर सकती. सो वन आंसर टू यू इज कम टू अहमदाबाद मैनेजमेंट एसोसिएशन, बिकॉज आई मीन आई एम नॉट सेलिंग AMA हियर, बट लेट्स से वी हैव ट्रेनर्स एट AMA हु charge 30, 40, 50,000 rupees a day and we pay them, we request 500 rupees from you. So the point is, ये जिम्मेदारी हमारी है to identify opportunities. सरकार के पास सब कुछ एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. आई मीन वन थिंग, गवर्नमेंट हैज़ अ ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. सर आई एम सॉरी, आई जस्ट नीड 1 minute. गवर्नमेंट हैज़ अ ह्यूज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. दीज आर प्राइमरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. उसके अलावा वाधवानी फाउंडेशन फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई जस्ट टेक अ मोमेंट. वाधवानी फाउंडेशन साल के 200 करोड़ रुपए स्पेंड कर रहा है एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के अपस्किलिंग के लिए विदाउट चार्जिंग 1 rupee, और वो ट्रेनर्स को दिन के 50,000 रुपये पे कर रहे हैं. सो यू विल हैव टू फाइंड सच अपॉर्चुनिटीज. AMA में यू फाइंड द बेस्ट ऑफ ट्रेनर्स कमिंग एंड यू आर बीइंग चार्ज 500 rupees फॉर 3 hours. ऑफ कोर्स देयर विल बी सम ट्रेनर्स हु विल नॉट कम एंड बी एक्सेसिबल, बट बहुत सारे ऐसे अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ है. सो एक प्लेटफॉर्म है पम नेदरलैंड्स करके, या आई मीन आचार्य सर नोज अबाउट इट. सो जस्ट टू गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल, नेदरलैंड्स में ऐसी एक संस्था है जो गवर्नमेंट ने बनाई है कि जितने भी वहाँ पे टॉप एग्जीक्यूटिव्स रिटायर होते हैं 60-62 की एज पे, और वो वर्ल्ड के बेस्ट MNCs लीड करके यूरोप के एग्जीक्यूटिव्स है, वो लोग एक संस्था के मेंबर हो जाते हैं, और वो लोग इंडिया में आके 2 महीना 3 महीना 6 महीना आपकी फैक्ट्री में काम करेंगे विदाउट टेकिंग 1 rupee फ्रॉम यू, without taking flight cost from you. They will only need a 3-star hotel accommodation. 3-star होटल में उनको रखिए, वो 6 महीना डेमलर मर्सिडीज कंपनी का एक सस्टेनेबिलिटी ऑफिसर 6 महीना आपकी फैक्ट्री में फ्री में काम करेगा. सो देर आर लॉट ऑफ सच इंटरवेंशंस अवेलेबल. पम नेदरलैंड्स, करेक्ट. सो माय पॉइंट इज करेक्ट. या पम, या विल कम. आप ये सवाल लेंगे और फिर आपका और ओझा सर से. सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन फॉर द इवनिंग. यस,
my question is why we have to prepare so late when person is coming to industry, then we identify skill gap and then we address this through training. At educational level, what we are doing, how we can change the education system so that this gap can be bridged immediately and smallest gap remains, and that should be continuous process, not only for today. Every time education
Good
sector
idea.
should develop. So what we are doing in this regard?
श्योर. सिंह सर एंड देन ओझा सर. पहले आप उनका सवाल देंगे प्लीज, कि एल्यूमिनियम ट्रेडर है या एल्यूमिनियम आयरन ट्रेडर, उनके लिए या गवर्नमेंट क्या कर सकती है? जी, इट्स वर्किंग.
चाहूँगा
या
कि देखिए, ट्रेडिंग के लिए तो हम लोगों की मिनिस्ट्री की बहुत ज़्यादा स्कीम नहीं है, लेकिन अगर आप कुछ अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करते हैं, हाँ करते हैं, तो उसमें हम लोगों की काफ़ी स्कीम्स हैं जिसमें हम आपको सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं. जैसे मान लीजिए आपकी कंपनी बहुत पुरानी है, आपने अभी तक ट्रेडमार्क नहीं लिया है, तो हम उसमें आपकी सहायता कर सकते हैं. हम रीइंबर्समेंट करते हैं, नॉट ओनली 1 ट्रेडमार्क. अगर आपने 100 ट्रेडमार्क भी लिए हुए हैं तो वी रीइंबर्स दैट. तो 10,000 रुपीज़ पर उसमें हम लोग करते हैं. इसके अलावा एग्जीबिशंस के लिए अगर आपको जाना चाहते हैं, आपको लग रहा है कोई आयरन से रिलेटेड कोई एग्जीबिशन हो रही है, अहमदाबाद में हो रही है या पूरे इंडिया में हो रही है, तो 2 एग्जीबिशन साल में आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज़ आल्सो वन थिंग. एंड अदर ऑल्सो वी हैव सो मैनी स्कीम कि अगर आपको एक्सपोर्ट करना है, हम लोग कुछ प्रोग्राम्स भी करते हैं. अगर आप अहमदाबाद बेस्ड हैं तो आई सजेस्ट यू, वी हैव ए ऑफिस एट 16 साइंस सिटी. तो जस्ट यू, जब आप उधर से निकल रहे हो तो आप उधर से विजिट करें और वहाँ ऑफिसर से इंटरेक्ट करें. देयर आर डिफरेंट ऑफिसर्स, सो यू विल गेट मोर इनपुट इन दैट. थैंक यू.
वंडरफुल.
जो ट्रेडर हैं, अभी ट्रेडर के लिए भी आप, जो पहले जैसे कि होता था मैन्युफैक्चरर सर्विस प्रोवाइडर खाली जो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन मिलता था, अभी ट्रेडर्स भी आप उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन कर सकते हैं और जो बेनिफिट्स है आप ले सकते हैं. प्लस NSIC में एक ऐसा है कि आपको एक MSME डाटा बैंक है और हमारा एक वेबसाइट है जिसमें कि आप अपना जो भी है प्रोडक्ट्स है उसको डिस्प्ले कर सकते हैं. तो जितना भी हमारे जो यूनिट्स हैं, हमारे करीब वहाँ पे हमारे 1 लाख से ज़्यादा यूनिट्स हैं, तो वो आपकी जो प्रोफाइल है उनको दिखेगा. वो तो आप किस चीज़ में डील करते हैं, क्या करते हैं आप, मतलब आप जो भी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप करते हैं, कुछ आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी करते हैं और आप जो ट्रेडिंग भी करते हैं, तो जो भी हमारे मेंबर्स हैं वो आपके साथ जुड़ सकते हैं। आपका क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल है कि पुराने मशीन्स खरीदना बेचना भी है आपको, जो आपके जो उसी में से कौन सा जो फॉरेन में कुछ अगर ट्रेड लीड्स मिलते हैं वो सारे कुछ है उसमें, तो आप उसमें भी जुड़ सकते हैं।
एजुकेशन सिस्टम का सवाल बहुत बड़ा है, कम से कम 1 घंटा लगेगा जवाब देने में, लेकिन मैं 2 मिनट में कोशिश करता हूँ। 2 मिनट में कोशिश ये है कि एक तो बदल रहा है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 2020 जो आई है, उसमें जो हमारे विचार हैं देश के वो ये है कि हम स्किल को उसमें इनकॉर्पोरेट कर रहे हैं स्कूल एजुकेशन से ही। तो स्कूल से ही बच्चे को तैयारी होगी कि वो किस विधा में जाना चाहता है, क्या करना चाहता है। तो जब वो अभी जो हम लोग 12th करने के बाद कुछ तय नहीं कर पाते हैं क्या कर पा रहे हैं, वो शायद थोड़ा पहले तय कर पाएगा। दिस इज़ वन कंपोनेंट। उसके अलावा जो कौशल्या स्किल यूनिवर्सिटी जो सेक्टरल यूनिवर्सिटी हैं, उनके द्वारा ये हो रहा है कि जो बच्चा कम से कम तब भी डिसाइड कर ले 11वीं 12वीं के बाद कि अब क्या करना है, तो उसको भी उस स्टेज पे वो स्किलिंग में आ जाए या एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप में आ जाए या बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट में आ जाए। हम लोग के समय पे तो साइंस, कॉमर्स और आर्ट्स 3 सब्जेक्ट होते थे, बीकॉम कर लो या तो बीए कर लो या बीएससी कर लो। आज हमारे पास हमारी जो पिछली यूनिवर्सिटी में काम किया है 100-150-200 तरह के कोर्स हैं, उसके बाद भी लोग डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, उसके बाद भी तैयार नहीं हो रहे हैं। तो वो एक अपनी जगह है, लेकिन अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत है और समय बदल रहा है। अब जो मैक्सिमम बदलने की ज़रूरत है कि वो जो हमारे टीचर्स भी हैं उनकी भी जो तैयारी है उसमें एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, उसमें इंडस्ट्रियस, उसमें जो ये बच्चे तैयार होकर जब टीचर बनेंगे तब तक वो शायद थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा। बट अभी हम लोग भी अपनी तरफ से कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि अपने जो टीचर्स हैं, हमारा कॉम्बिनेशन बहुत बढ़िया है। हमारा 50% कौशल्या में स्टाफ एकेडमिक्स का है और 50% स्किल का है। ये जो 3-4 लोग सामने बैठे हैं उसमें 3 लोग एकेडमिक्स के हैं, 3 लोग स्किल के हैं, और वो भी ITI और पॉलिटेक्निक सब चला के आए और वो प्रोफेसर लेवल के हैं। ये नहीं कि उनका, और हमने जो UGC में एक रिक्वेस्ट की है कि हमें प्रोफेसर ऑफ स्किल्स, प्रोफेसर ऑफ, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर ऑफ स्किल्स और असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर ऑफ स्किल्स भी दें, क्योंकि ये जो गैप है इंडस्ट्री का कि जो भी हम पढ़ाते हैं एजुकेशन में वो इंडस्ट्री के काम नहीं आता है। और आप कहते हैं कि वॉट एवर वी टीच इन द क्लासरूम इज़ नॉट प्रैक्टिकली फंक्शनल। तो इस पे तो खैर मेरे विचार फ़र्क हैं, मैं इसमें बिल्कुल नहीं मानता हूँ इस बात को, उस पर कभी और चर्चा करेंगे। मैंने जितना पढ़ा था सब मुझे काम आ रहा है और उससे ज़्यादा काम आ रहा है। और जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे मैं उनको भी गारंटी देता हूँ, मेरे पास 1 घंटे बैठे तो मैं बता दूंगा जो उन्होंने पढ़ा था पाइथागोरस थ्योरम, वो भले ही नहीं यूज़ कर रहे, कहाँ काम आ रही है, वो उनके दिमाग को ट्रेन करने में काम आ रही। जरूरी थोड़ी ना पाइथागोरस करो तभी आपको पाइथागोरस का इस्तेमाल करना है। तो कुछ तो इंडस्ट्री ने भी गिमिक बना रखा है। हम लोग 2 तरह के मैन पावर तैयार करते हैं, एक जो स्पेशलाइज्ड स्किल में है, आज पहुंचे और कल प्रोडक्ट बनाना शुरू कर दिया। एक वो बनाते हैं जो आज पहुंचे, उनको ट्रेनिंग दी गई कि ये काम करना है तो उन्होंने कर दिया। कल को जब इंडस्ट्री चेंज हुई तो उसको दूसरी ट्रेनिंग दी, उसने दूसरा काम कर लिया। जो पहले वाला है हो सकता है वो समय पे बदल नहीं पाए। 21st एंड 22nd सेंचुरी में हमको अपने जीवन में 4 कम से कम तरह की जॉब बदलने पड़ेंगी, ये बिल्कुल प्रिडिक्टेड है। और अगर हमने सिर्फ उस तरह का व्यक्ति तैयार कर दिया जो एक ही स्किल में घुसा और कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा, तो वो इस देश के लिए और समाज के लिए, मानवता के लिए बहुत गलत बात होगी। तो दिस इज समथिंग विच आई वांट टू ब्लेंड स्किल विद इंडस्ट्रीज। I think.
Jimin sir, Acharya sir wants to respond. One quick one. Yeah.
Sir, I think आपने गुजरात के एजुकेशन सिस्टम के बात किया, थोड़ा वो जो अभी 1st to 7th स्टैंडर्ड पे, अब जस्ट तो आप गुजरात का कुछ डाटा देता हूँ आपको अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए। 38,000 गवर्नमेंट स्कूल से जो स्टैंडर्ड 1 से 7 तक है, स्टैंडर्ड 8 के आगे हमारा स्कूल डिक्रीज होकर 8,000 हो जाता है। ये आपको गुजरात का फैक्शन फिशर देता हूँ, आप एनालाइज कीजिए, कभी मैं आराम से आपसे बात करूँगा कि आप जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, अभी उसको स्टेम एजुकेशन के थ्रू हम कैसे बच्चों को अट्रैक्शन बढ़ा सकते हैं, उसके लिए बहुत सारी एक्सपेरिमेंट चल रहा है। आगे जब ग्रेजुएशन पे बच्चा आता है उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए अभी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात ने एक स्टूडेंट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप पॉलिसी ACP लॉन्च किया है, जिसके थ्रू हर एक स्टूडेंट को ट्रेनिंग किया जाता है 5 days के ऊपर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का ऊपर, और उसकी आइडियाज़ के ऊपर हम लोग करीब 40,000 रुपीज़ गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट देता है कि आप पैसा लीजिए और इसको एक्सपेरिमेंट कीजिए। ये सारी आइडियाज़ बिजनेस हो जाएगा, उसका कुछ रिलेशन नहीं है। आइडियाज़ को हमको एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, यानी जो स्टूडेंट का अंदर में होना चाहिए कि मैं कैसे कोई प्रोडक्ट को आगे कैसे एक्सपेरिमेंट करूँगा। उससे आगे एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट के थ्रू और एक पॉलिसी है जिसको हम स्टूडेंट स्टार्टअप इनोवेशन पॉलिसी बोलते हैं, जहाँ से करीब 2 लाख तक डिफरेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन उसको पैसा दे सकता है। और एक जो आई हब है जिसके थ्रू हम करीब 10 लाख तक का गवर्नमेंट का ग्रांट अवेलेबल है, मैं जितनी सारी, सब ने बोलते कि पैसे की जरूरत है, ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत है, वो ये सारी चीज़ को अप टू 10 लाख रुपीज़ तक कोई भी आइडिया को एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए आज फंडिंग अवेलेबल है गुजरात पे। और 10 लाख से लेके 35-40 लाख तक नोडल इंस्टीट्यूशन पॉलिसी के थ्रू सपोर्ट है, और 40 लाख से लेके 2 CR तक का ग्रांट स्टार्टअप इंडिया सीड फंड के थ्रू अवेलेबल है। तो एक कंप्लीट चैनल अवेलेबल है, और हर एक का मैं आपको 10 to 20 डिफरेंट एग्जाम्पल्स बात कर सकता हूँ। तो अगर कोई उस पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस पे नहीं आता है तो कहीं ना कहीं मैं सबको बोलता हूँ कि आपको इनोवेशन या डेडिकेशन करना है, डिसिप्लिन करना है, आइडेंटिफाई करना है, एंड देन यू विल स्टार्ट गेटिंग द रिजल्ट। आई थिंक द होल एनवायरमेंट इज देयर, आपको उसका बेनिफिट लेना है। आई थिंक आई कैन सर्टनली टेक, आई थिंक ये एंडलेस होगा, मैं आई थिंक आई स्टॉप इट हियर। आई थिंक होल एनवायरमेंट सपोर्ट सिस्टम फंडिंग है, और जो मैं डिसिप्लिन की बात करता था, आई जस्ट एंड अप विद वन जस्ट लास्ट एग्जांपल। मैं हरदम हर एक फोरम में ये बात करता हूँ, जो ओयो का जो शुरू किया था लड़का रितेश अग्रवाल, सब मेरे को बोलते हैं कि वो एक स्कूल ड्रॉप आउट था, कॉलेज ड्रॉप आउट था। दैट्स एग्जाम्पल सब बोलते हैं कि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए ड्रॉप आउट का एक डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है। बहुत जने मेरे को एग्जाम्पल देते हैं जहाँ पे हम एग्जाम्पल की बात, अगर वो स्टूडेंट अक्रॉस इंडिया में उसका पहला वेंचर नहीं था, ये मैं हर एक जगह पे बात करता हूँ कि वो जो ओयो है, इट इज़ नॉट हिज फर्स्ट वेंचर। आप लोग भी एनालाइज कीजिए उसने कितने नंबर के बाद ओयो आया उसका। ओयो वॉज नॉट द फर्स्ट वेंचर, प्रीवियस कंपनी के साथ उसने क्या हुआ था, बट वो एक लड़का था जो इंडिया का सबसे बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूशन से अक्रॉस इंडिया वहाँ एंटर किया था। वहाँ का प्रोफेसर को बोला था कि आप मेरे को कैसे हेल्प करोगे। ये चीज़ मैं सबको बोलना चाहता हूँ, अगर आप एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना चाहते हो, आप कितनी बार कहाँ जाके आपने नॉक किया जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि नॉलेज मेरे को क्या हेल्प हो सकता है, इंक्लूडिंग द बेस्ट पॉसिबल इंस्टीट्यूशन जो हमारे बगल में है, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट से लेके यू नेम एन इंस्टीट्यूट, जहाँ पे वो लड़का खुद नहीं गया था, एक 12th स्टैंडर्ड का लड़का, एक बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, आके सबको पूछ रहा है मेरे पास एक आइडिया है, आप क्या हेल्प करोगे। तो somebody सपोर्टेड हिम, ये फाइनली एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी के पास पहुंचा, और जिसने उसको $some million दिया उसकी आइडिया को एक्सपेरिमेंट करने के लिए, एंड द रेस्ट इज हिस्ट्री इज कॉल्ड ओयो। सो मेरे हिसाब से एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का एक सबसे बड़ा जो है कि आप अपनी क्वेश्चंस को लेके कितने जने को मिले हो, अगर ये चीज का आंसर आप दोगे, आई थिंक बाकी सारी ऑटोमेटिकली ट्रैक पे आ जाएगा। थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग मी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी। थैंक यू।
Absolutely. This is the last was one of the best example of pitching the idea and becoming the successful entrepreneur. This is what is needed as out of this the question which was asked of the education and entrepreneurship. Friends, on behalf of Ahmedabad Management Association and Dr. Jamin Vasai MSME Development Center, it is my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this evening's enlightening and impactful session. Of course, we missed Rajendrabhai Shah, but I think Padminbhai Buch as a chief guest and as a keynote speaker gave wonderful ideas about the entrepreneurship, IPR, and the successful entrepreneurship. Also, a special thanks to our moderator, Dr. Jainil, whose insightful guidance, thoughtful question, and seamless coordination elevated the quality of discussions this evening. Jainil, your passion for youth development, sustainability, and entrepreneurship shone through and kept the session intellectually engaging and thought-provoking. Thank you so much. Our sincere appreciation goes out to our esteemed panelist, Shri Pradeep Ojha, Joint Director, MSME-DFO, and he gave the wonderful ideas and you can get the support from Government of India, from MSME-DFO regarding training, regarding finance, and regarding the how you can get the support from the for your exhibition, for your traveling, for your business entrepreneurship. So thank you, Pradeep ji, for giving the wonderful insights. Bikash Chandra Naik, the Zonal Head NSIC, for sharing the world insights on market linkages and enterprise facilitation and the support you get from NSIC. And I believe that these experts, they don't speak, they believe that whatever they say, whenever you contact them, you will get the support from them. You need to just go there and you need to just contact them to get your things done. The today's Kohli was Professor S.P. Singh, Vice Chancellor, Kaushalya, the Skill University, for articulating the importance of academia-industry linkages in bridging the skill gap. He really addressed from the heart that what is the correlation between the Saraswati and Lakshmi. Both are required. Both are the integrated things. Lakshmi है तो सरस्वती जाएगी. अगर सरस्वती अगर है तभी लक्ष्मी आएगी. So I think what he means to say, and thank you Singh Sahab for enlightening the crowd what they really wanted to know from you or listen from you. Our own Mr. Satya Ranjan Acharya sir, Director Cradle and EDII, for expertise in entrepreneurship, education, innovation, and he gave wonderful case ideas and case studies to how to become successful entrepreneur from the, even if you have studied or not, right? From the dropout students to become the successful entrepreneur, he has the magic. But yes, I know that I have seen him educating the students in the EDI, and he has really made, I mean, of course, EDI has, and under his leadership, has really made lot of students, because my 2 grandchildren has also studied over there for after the schooling. So, and Mr. Acharya played a very vital role. Each one of you brought unique perspectives and practical strategies that will undoubtedly help all MSMEs transitions into a more skill-driven, competitive and future-ready sector. A heartfelt thanks to the governing council members of AMA and Mr. Unmesh Dikshit, Executive Director AMA, and the entire organizing team for your continued commitment and flawless execution. Your dedication has been instrumental in making this 11th edition of SME Growth Series a grand success. To all my industry partners and leaders, academicians and entrepreneurs and participants who have joined us today, thank you very much for being a part of this important dialogue. Your enthusiasm, your questionnaire, your answering and your support has really reaffirmed our shared commitment to empowering MSMEs through learning, collaboration and innovation. As we conclude, let us remember that empowering MSMEs through skill development is not just an economic imperative, it is a national priority. Let us carry forward today's insights into action, advocacy and collective effort to build a stronger, inclusive and more resilient MSME ecosystem. Thank you once again, and we look forward to welcoming you all to our future session in this enriching series. Now we all stand for the national anthem.